Kranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Kranky, and this is the Kranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Kranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Kranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Kranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you doing? Bless up and welcome to another episode of Kranky Live Sports Talk. We talk everything sports, sometimes NFL, which is rare, sometimes basketball, which become more frequent. Given my Knicks are playing tonight and they're doing well. Sometimes we talk track and field when it's in season. It's out of season now. We may talk cricket a little bit, since the West Indies are hit and miss. But we talk a lot of football, or as the Americans say, a lot of soccer. But before I jump into this, I was on Saturday. Some of already commenting on about likes and subscribe. So I'm wondering if that should be a theme where I come on here and don't make any comments, or I just whine and complain when the numbers don't go up. Since every YouTube program that I watch, one of the first things they talk about is don't forget to give a like and subscribe as you come into the forum. So I would hope that you would do the same here. Bless up, Tuffy Rudy. Thanks for joining. As you can see from the thumbnail, which is going to be part of the program, because not all the program, I'm going to talk a little bit about today what I call our anemic offense. And the stats are not that pretty when it comes to our offense. In fact, they downright ugly, actually. But before I jump into talk about that, I'm going to talk some EPL, because it's what a very, very good game between Fulham and Brentford, where we had Jamaican Reggae Boyz pin-up playing. Must be a tough night for those guys. Bless up, Conrad. Am I nervous about tomorrow's results? No, actually, I've resigned myself to, you know what? Whatever the outcome, I'm going to be fine. Obviously, Kranky, run the content, and if it's worth liking, we will. At least I will. People ask for the like before them come in, because a lot of times you forget when you go out that you should like it, right? That's what they actually like when you come in. Because you're right. The concept should be, why should I like something unless I view it? But if there's a tradition, if the program on a continuous basis is something that you value and you want to watch, then you can probably do a pre-like first, because you can always hit the dislike when you leave, if you don't like it. But it's more of trying to get the algorithm to have people watch a program, right? So, yeah, but back to the question about the election. No, I mean, it's close. It's too close for comfort. It's amazing that a person who is so divisive as Donald Trump has over 70 million people voting for him. It says a lot about people. It says a lot about the country. It just says a lot about human beings in general. If you're that divisive and you are all of the labels that he's gotten, whether it's fascist, racist, xenophobic, chauvinistic, egotistical, narcissistic, whatever those terminologies used to describe him, whatever the adjectives are, that's him and more. And for all the things that he have done, and they're a long list. I just read through another list today. They are the top 10. There's more than top 10. From him being a civilian to him being in the government. It's just amazing to me that people want to vote for this person, including people who are black, who And some of us are not that smart. I'm sorry to say that. And what Biden says about the people who vote for Trump and who they are, that's how people think. I hate to tell you that. And people may call it back, and Kamala may say, oh, no, I would never call the American people this. But that's how people think. Because they're wondering, how can any person who believe in right and righteousness and people and goodness, especially evangelists, can vote for this person? But I could go on all night. So I won't make this a political program today. Yeah, he may win Icarus, and we'll have to live with it and move on with our lives. When we move on with our lives, he'll do what he does. Just keep your head low and move on with your life. And people with the likes, they have to go up people, because I'm gonna get miserable today. Seriously, can we do some work for this? Bless up, job bless. Secondly, yesterday I was on a program, Manning's Band program. I called into the show where they were talking about Busby, a program I sort of covered on Friday, I think it was, and how the Guardian article got the hate is real and the hate is real and yeah, the Guardian article which talks about Busby and the fact that JVF hired him, but he was not exonerated by FIFA. More that when they reviewed the case, the statute of limitation had expired, and based on the evidence they have, they didn't come out with any decision. They closed the case, but with no clear resolution that he was no clear resolution that he was not guilty, right? He sort of closed the case. He didn't come to some conclusion. And I think what happens in our community is whenever anything sexual in nature came up, there was another case with another kid from Jamaica who beat up his must-be wife in Texas someplace. Everybody sort of equates the Greenwood, and they get all nervous and they start acting up, right? You can't ask any questions. You can't say anything because they lose their mind. I'm going to tell you this, people. We should never be afraid to confront anything if we have questions and we're inquisitive and we want answers, because there are implications someplace else. Let the chips fall where they may. So when I was on the program yesterday, there were two people on who, there are a lot of people who say Kranky should get off the phone and all that, and it's fine. It's your prerogative. You can say what you want. There are two people I had to call out. There's up Owen. One is Travis Professor, whatever his name is, because he had made his comments about Kranky Figure and Kranky come off my phone and Kranky this and that. So Travis is somebody I banned from my program, so he can't come and visit my program, and I'm sure it's probably hurting him, because I know how that feels when you want to be someplace and you get banned. And not that my program is great, but he got banned. And he's going to stay banned. And it's a permanent ban. He ain't going to lift it. And Travis and I've had run-ins a number of times. I remember when I just started my program, I asked him to come and subscribe, and he cursed me to the hell out. He would never come to my program. I should go away. And I was wondering where all that hate was coming from and that venom was coming from. And then subsequently, he came on the program. Now, he was telling somebody about their mom, so I banned him. So Travis, wherever you are, you're a moron. And me not deal with morons. I'm going to tell you that. Now, some may say, Kranky, you can't move past those things. No. I fight fire with fire. I'm sorry. That's my personality. I'm not changing. He's a moron. He's idiotic. He's rude. He's obnoxious. And people like that, I stay out of their space, and they got to stay out of my space. So even if I go on some program, sometimes he's on there, I would just click out, because I don't want to deal with the nonsense. I want to deal with kids who just have no behavior. But he's a moron, and morons stay away from me, and you will never be a part of my program. You may come on my program under assumed name. As soon as I find you, I ban you, because you're an idiot and you're moronic. Second, there was somebody called Badass on the program too. And he made a comment that Kranky's working hard to get a job with the JFF. So why Jamaica tax on me? We call players who weren't informed and ignore people who are not. Okay, we get to that, Rob. That's later on in the program. But I know it's in the thumbnail. So Badass said on the program, and Badass is somebody I should know, because I know the name. He said in the program that I'm working hard to get a job with the JFF. I have no idea what that means, people. How many times have I said in this program, I'm not looking to work for anybody? On a monthly basis, since I retired in March, I will get an email in LinkedIn, but somebody would say, hey, sir, XYZ, we have this board. We're looking for people. It may be in biotech. It may be in different industry. It may be in venture capital. We for these people. Will you consider it? Can we call you? Can we interview you? Whatever it is. We'll probably give us some equity, blah, whatever. I'm like, not interested. I'm not interested. You can reach out to me, and most times I don't even answer them, right? If I was looking for a job, it wouldn't be with the JFF. It'd be one of those organizations where they're going to pay me a director's fee. They're going to fly me wherever the hell they are. They're going to pay all my expenses. I may get equity in their company. I'm enjoying doing YouTube. So let me make this clear to people who say I'm looking for a job with the JFF. No, I'm not looking for a job with the JFF. I have no interest. I'm interested in Jamaica football, promoting the football, and hope the football can get to a good place. If there's something I can do that require my services, I will do it. But me now work for nobody. Let me say that again, because I don't understand. But us and all your people them who like to bring up people and try to put them on the spot and try to shame them. Me are telling them this. Me now work for nobody. Me now work for the JFF. Me I work for myself. Me I work for nobody. See? So people like you bad us, I don't know. God, Jamaican, when you do it on bad mind, stop putting my name out there about certain things because it's ridiculous when you say that. It's I'm looking for a handout. Let me tell you something, people. You know when we can't say anything we want to say on the program? Because I can afford to say that. Not necessarily monetarily, but I can afford to say it because I'm not looking for anything from anybody. Let me just say that again. I can say what I want within reason, because you shouldn't denigrate people. You shouldn't defame people. So anything that's legal, anything that is the truth, it may be critique, it may be flowers, I'm going to say it. And the JFF, anybody can't tell me what to say. Let me say that again. I have nothing for the JFF. I want to support the JFF. I want the JFF to do great. I was on a call today with the Supporters Club, and there are 3 organizations trying to do well. I want them to do brilliantly. I want to support the football program. But don't come on these programs when I go on a people programs on my program telling me I want a job with the JFF. Please stop doing that. You're annoying the hell out of me. Okay? You're annoying me. I'm not looking for a job for anybody. I'm okay. Don't feel sorry for Kranky. He's okay. He'll survive. Right? The military didn't teach me any patience. The military teach me that if somebody box you, box them back twice. Anyway, I may, if this work out, have a it may not work out given the way I'm going. I asked Dennis Chung from JFF to be on my program because nowadays we get reluctant to ask anybody if they don't, I mean, like people tell me no. But anyway, I did request him to the program. He did nicely say he'd probably try to get here on Wednesday. Wednesday may be my last show for a while. I'm taking a sabbatical. I'm doing some traveling. I say I'm probably going to go to the game in St. Louis, so I may or may not be on, at least maybe not live, but maybe Memorex, meaning I do tapes and post them. So hopefully that is the case, actually. And so, yeah, that's it. So that's my little monologue about this whole concept of, one is people trying to berate me in these chats, and 2 is people think I'm looking for handouts and looking for a job when I've said it numerous times. I'm not looking for a job. I don't know why people like badass want to call me out and say me a Corey fever, me look for a job. All I was doing yesterday was trying to point out to people, which is logical, which is this. In the Busby case, you could take either side you want to take, right? He wasn't proven innocent, but he also wasn't proven guilty. And the question was back to the JFF, if the Guardian article is correct, then why did you hire him? I have my own philosophy on that. I think it's a very tricky situation. So yeah, anyway. Now, Chris, if people are trying to beat me, I beat them back in them. I don't care. Me have a mouthpiece, and me have a mouthpiece and we can't talk. So when you have your own platform too, you can say, oh, I'm saying. People can visit it. They may not want to visit it. That's their prerogative. That's my final thing on that, actually. So I'm going to get to the whole thumbnail. I didn't post a thumbnail just for a turn. I did some assessment. We'll talk about that. I want to get into some things that I want to talk about. So you were on the call. Sorry, you were on the call, Farmer Jack. Farmer Jack, I thought about playing the call now, people, but it's too long. It's an hour and a half, right? So to summarize the call in like 1 sentence or 2 sentences, they're trying to start an initiative by a number of there's about 3 Reggae Boyz supporters club. They all go by different names. And Kyle is part of that whole group, actually. He has his own Reggae Boyz supporters club from a long time ago. There are a couple more. One by Dub Hub and one by another gentleman. I can't remember his name. And the whole idea is to create momentum in the diaspora, whereby you're trying to ensure that there is a diaspora community that's really supporting the Reggae Boyz, both in personally attending games, maybe contributing resources for games, contributing ideas. The whole genesis of this and the whole objective of this and the whole goal is to make sure that we're building a community which can support the Reggae Boyz to help them achieve their objective, which give us pleasure because we love when they win, right? And want to do that. I don't think it's only in outside Jamaica, it's also within Jamaica. You know, Kyle has this band that plays and all that. And they come up with ideas. They have 3 different groups. I think my philosophy is, I think the groups should merge. But look, everybody has their territory. Either way, it can work. I believe if you merge it and have a governance body and have locational strategy, we have different satellite groups in different places, and you have different areas. Because people always talk about Jamaica, Canada, and the UK, but I'm sure there's other countries where you may have Jamaicans there who may want to have something be part of a larger group, right? And may want to come and visit games. And I think if, as I mentioned on that call, when I went to the Guatemala game against Jamaica in the Meadowlands, was it Meadowlands? I think it was the Meadowlands, yeah. No, it wasn't the Meadowlands. Wherever the game was played in New Jersey. When I went to the game, what was interesting to me was there were so many Guatemalans family at the game. I think I mentioned that in my program before. There were families at the game. When I talk about individual and just a man thing, kids, grandma, grandpa, sons, daughters, all there as families taken in the game. And it was very embarrassing that the game is in the tri-state region where we have a litany of Jamaicans here and very few were at the game. You probably could count them on a few hands, right? Which is not okay, even though it was a friendly game. Because the Guatemalans are turning out, why can't we turn out? And so I think these groups, what they're trying to do is change that dynamics to ensure that people come to the games, they support the games, they can create the infrastructure and mechanism to get people to the games. And I think that would work really well. So I'm very much supportive, actually. It was a good discussion. Media was there. The individuals who run the supporters group was there. Dennis Chung was there, and Dennis was very positive. And Dennis is sort of the JFF liaison or the person responsible for this engagement model. And I think it's a good one. And I think it would add a lot of value. One of the things that I asked in that discussion of Dennis, and I want we to think about actually, is going forward. I think Dennis said in the discussion that the Jamaica merchandise, or maybe it's a Reggae Boy merchandise, maybe Adidas highest selling product, right? Apparel. And if that's the case, I don't know what we're getting, but what we're getting is not enough. So I think that's something that JFF also need to consider, which is how do we maximize the returns we get when we have the contractual engagement. I think you said the contract with Adidas ending 2026. If they're highly selling products, then if we're getting 15%, it should be 30, 40%. That's how I see it. And these things don't take a lot of money to make. They're making great profit. The question is, what's the profitability? To me, you should get your costs back and we split the profit 50-50. I don't know what the mechanisms are for merchandising deals where you get like a 20% because you put nothing in there, you don't do anything. So if you want to split it 60-40, 70-30, that's fine. But we don't want on 10, 15, 20%. I don't think that works for me. But anyway, that's just my perspective on that. But it was a really good call. It was a good conference, good discussion. And it was publicized. If you don't watch Reggae Boyz commentary, and I think there's some other channels that are actually showing it. It's too long, actually, so I'm not going to show it. And I thought about showing excerpts, but I didn't have time to break it up, split it, and pull out some of the key moments in the discussion. That's why you can't find it, Romaine, because it's a bestseller. As soon as it lands, it's gone. When I was in Kings Plaza in Brooklyn and I went to get one, they say it's hot cake, it sells out. All right. It says Corey said he was on the discussion. So there were a number of people there. I think there was probably over 30 people on the call, actually. So yeah, Corey. I mean, yes, Romaine, you can't find it, maybe because it's sell out. Or maybe they don't stock certain stores with the merchandise, which they should. Because I challenged the person at Kings Plaza. I think they were trying to generate demand, which didn't make any sense to me. If it's selling out, you don't have to generate demand. The demand is being generated. But that was interesting. Cece said, Kranky, the idea about putting every blogger under one umbrella is ridiculous. That's for the supporters group. I'm not sure. I think he was being facetious, Cece. First of all, bloggers not going under one umbrella. We can't even get along when we're not in together, much less. Bloggers have fights when they're separate and distinct. Can you imagine them being under one umbrella? But I think the supporters group should be under one umbrella. If they want to take their leaders from each of their supporters club and put them under one umbrella, and add a few more people to it. I think that's what they should do. And then you have different offices, right? Your different locations. You have a locational strategy. You may have people, maybe have one person in England, one group in England, one in Jamaica, one in Canada. Even though it's a diaspora thing, you can still have a Jamaica satellite office of it. So I think they should consider it, but it's up to them. Now, I think Chung was joking about that. Because you know that the bloggers and the JFF has a love-hate relationship. Sometimes it seems like it's more hate than love. But they have a love-hate relationship because we keep the football alive, but we also can be very, very critical. And a lot of time the criticism to me is justified. Right? So I don't think anybody should take these things personal. I think it's just is what it is. So anyway, let me get along with the program. First I'm going to talk about is some EPL. Then I'm going to talk about Edu left Arsenal today. Well, he's going to leave Arsenal. He left today. Amarin joined. Dwight York is TNT coach. Reggae Boyz update about some of the performance over the weekend. And then we're going to talk about why is the Reggae Boyz offense anemic? And you guys can tell me if I'm way off on that, or if that's a little bit too toxic, if that's a little bit too harsh. But then after we go to the numbers, you can tell me whether or not I'm totally off base. Right? But I do think that the Reggae Boyz offense is actually anemic. It's probably beyond anemic. So this is we won't go over Saturday's scores. I think I did that last Saturday. We're just going to go over yesterday's scores and today's scores, right? So Tottenham beat Aston Villa yesterday. And as I touch upon some of these things, I'll touch upon the Reggae Boyz associated with it. Tottenham beat Villa 4-1 yesterday. Interesting game. Game was even for a while, but Tottenham was a better team. And Torres looked horrible. Roman say don't trust the English. We'll get to that, Roman. We'll get to that because I want to talk about the coach for a little bit. People, the more you get into these platforms, the more data and information you get to know, even from sources you had no idea you would get it from. So it's interesting being here. Then you got to substantiate and verify and validate the source. But yeah, there are a lot of sources. So the Villa game, I watched Villa for different reasons because Emery was Arsenal coach, but also, some of you may not believe this because Bailey probably plays for Villa. And I also like some of the players. I like Ramsey and Rogers, who are here of Jamaican heritage. So I watched the games. And it was interesting because I think Bailey got about 10 minutes. But what was striking to me about the game, I think Emery got it wrong. In today's football, I don't think you can play football without wingers, right? I know Pep came up with this false 9 concept and it worked because they just dominate people with their ball possession, right? And they have a lot of creative players. But he had Ramsey and McGinn playing, not wings, playing out wide in a sense. So, but they're normal midfielders, so they're coming in. So there was no spacing. You can't penetrate defense when your wingers are playing almost like inverted, and therefore they're not wide. You're not spreading on the defense. You can't go between the lines. It's crazy doing what he was doing. And Bailey was on the bench. Now, there's one of two questions around that. Is he on the bench because he's not fit, or is he on the bench because he's not played well? Has he scored in the Premier League goal this year as yet, people? I don't know that. Has Bailey scored a Premier League goal this year as yet? Because last year people were telling me he's the best winger in the PL. Now. Some people are telling me that, which I thought was interesting. So has he scored any goal? No. And we are what, like 10 games in? He's playing like Arsenal. We have been poor. So he's having a tough time right now. Part of that is injuries. Part of that is not him and how he plays his injuries. But at the same time, if he's not producing, and people in the UK can be very unforgiving people. They are like Jamaica. They have what we call, he has 2 assists. Yeah, he had an assist the last game. Rob acted. He had an assist the last game, so he has 2. But they have what we call recency bias. Right? They have what we call recency bias, which is, what have you done for me lately? So Ika Reese is saying he's been awful. I don't think he's been awful, but I don't think he's been that good either. People. 56 likes. 112 people. Come on, people. Don't hit the like button, man. Let me stop. People, I'm disturbing you, man. I want to go answer. Just hit the like button. You know what? I'm not asking no like button after Wednesday because I'm up on the road, so I can't stay. If no one hit the like button, that's all right. But no, he's had a tough season. Yeah, Rogers is a monster, Chris. And if he has Jamaican heritage, as I've been told, then we should go pursue him. I want to talk about the recruiting too. I want to talk about that too. We may not even get to the thumbnail now. We might to the thumbnail. But no, I think it's unfortunate his situation because when your coach is playing 2 midfielders, in your position, it's not a good look, people. It is not a good look. And so he only got about 10 minutes. And didn't get a chance to produce in that 10 minutes. I think he won a corner out of that, but didn't get a chance to really make an impact. And it's tough to make an impact. It's 10 minutes. Like Sterling at Arsenal. Getting 15, 20 minutes here, 5 minutes here. That's a waste of time when Martinelli's not doing anything. But that's another story for another day. So unfortunately for him, that didn't work out. And then we had the Man U Chelsea game, which was a good game. My friends and I, my English friends, I'm gonna call note Apollo and others. When we bought Rice and they bought Caicedo, and Caicedo didn't start off great because Chelsea was a mess. I got a lot of grief about this. Well, cream Rice to the top, and form can be temporary. And if you look at Declan Rice, and if in the Euros, let her have it last season, and now, and look at Caicedo, to me it's night and day. And it's not about the goal he scored yesterday, just his plays overall. He was man of the match yesterday. Overall play, just dominant, physical, strong, good off the mark, putting a tackle, win his battles. And I think we should have bought him versus buying Rice. And even though Rice is a good player, Rice to me is a sideways footballer. He's an El Neni improvement and El Neni. Too much sideways football. Nothing going forward. Can't play behind the first line of defense. Can't play the ball between the line. Very annoying to watch. But at the same time, I thought Chelsea were good. I thought Man U surprised me how they played. They got chances. And I think Garnacho needs to calm down. I don't think he does a good job when he's in the final third of making decisions. Bless up Drew Russ. Thanks for being here. Stephen Lloyd said Rice is overrated. Yeah, I think he's overrated too, but you can't tell people in England that. Can't tell Rob them that. I think he walks on water. And our best midfielder is Partey. Well, Odegaard and Partey. In terms of playing the 8 instead of playing the 6, Partey is a brilliant, brilliant player and very much underappreciated. Maybe because he's about 36 or 37. Or they say 31, right? I'm always getting his age confused. He has somebody was telling me something the other day about, and I didn't see the game, and I was gonna watch it and I was gonna look at it. They're talking about North Korea beating Spain in the under-17 women's final. And I said to the person, well, who validated the ages of the North Koreans? Because they do what they do. Yeah, it was who validated the age of North Koreans? And I bet they look as hard as rock. And he said, yes, they did. And I said, okay, I don't think they're under 17. I'm sorry, I don't think so. Why is Partey playing right back? Because the genius Arteta puts him at right back. That's why. So let me finish off this. So the Man U Chelsea game was really good. 4-3 presser. You guys looked good yesterday. Ugarte looked decent. Casemiro is back in form. It looks like. I think Onana is showing he's a very good goalkeeper. He got beaten his first year. He's a good goalkeeper, and his distribution is awesome. He plays like an outfield player. He's next to probably Edison. I know people want to say Allison. I don't think so. I think he's better than Allison on the ball. But he played really well. Man U played well. Chelsea played well. I think it was a good, decent. It wasn't the best game. It was a decent game. But the teams looked evenly matched. I thought Chelsea would win the game or probably more dominate, but they didn't, which was interesting. And then we had the game between Fulham and Brentford. Fulham dominated. White rice, Fulham. No. Rice don't have no gravy. You don't have no spice. So you need spice. Football, if you have that differentiating quality, not on gravy. Plain rice. Yeah, plain rice. Tastes bland. But so the game today, it was an enjoyable game. Fulham just keep going up and down. They had a lot of Arsenal players for Fulham. Iwobi's Arsenal. The goalkeeper Netta is Arsenal. Leno, is Arsenal. Smith Rowe is Arsenal. Nelson played. Nelson got some good chances he didn't put away today. It was very disappointing, actually. Very disappointing. He had some chances which didn't hit the target, which was surprising. Yeah, John McGill did look awful for Farmergag, and I'm not sure why he's playing over Bailey, to be honest. BM is saying, keep careful what you say about the Koreans. Mind your dear leader get upset with you. Yeah, I'm afraid I am. Man, I've been people them. Man is an awful. If you're a leader of a country and a people, you got to make sure your people are happy. They can't always want to run away and you kill them if they try to run away. I don't know how the world even allow these things to happen. But when you have nuclear weapon, nobody can tell you nothing. That's what happened in the world, people. You don't understand that. When you have nuclear weapon, nobody can tell you nothing. You can do whatever you want to do. They may sanction you, but they can't tell you nothing. They can't come try and invade you, kind of afraid. But Bobby. So if you think about the Reggae Boyz, so Pinnock lost today, even though the last 2 goals were scored in the last 50 minutes, the last one in extra time. So Pinnock lost, Bailey lost, Bobby Reid didn't play and he drew, and Antonio lost. And here, let me say something, people. They're not gonna let me say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We need more Premier League players who are playing football. Bobby Reid is not a regular player for Leicester. I'm not sure why he left Fulham. Maybe he was seeing the writing on the wall because they improved their team. Bailey's now on the bench for Villa. So when they come to us in these windows to play against teams like the US, they're not getting regular football. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, people. It cannot be a good look. That's concerning. And then Antonio is playing, and you know what? I looked up Antonio. Hey, don't tell me how much goal Antonio scored this year. All out in that chat, including people like Claudine who like beating up at Antonio. How many goals have Antonio scored for West Ham this year? He's played 10 games. How many goals have he scored? I wonder Jamaica struggle. How many goals has Antonio scored this year? So Bailey not scored none. How much Antonio score? Just 3/4 with forward line. And Green at the palm farm. Lord help us. Green at the palm farm. It's not a good look for the Reggae Boyz. People just drop the link. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And Michael Woodburn said the championship players ain't playing well. It's not a good look, people. Must we build EPL? No. There are people like Kyle Walker-Peters, for example, who are Jamaican heritage. That's what we should be pursuing. Our pursue someone to look at the younger kids who have much more potential than some of the older men who now playing on football. Right? People, please hit the like button. Here's my philosophy, people. This coach talk about, you know what, I don't want to stop on the coach. And I want to get into that press conference. It may be on a day I'm traveling in. I hope it's not. Want to get that people, I have to find a way to get into that press conference because I have questions I want to ask. In fact, you know what? I don't want to scare anybody, but I gotta find a way to get to ask the questions I want to ask. Like it or not. I have to be able to ask some of those questions. I don't know why the coach don't want to pursue young people. They have too much old man on the team. Pinnock over 30, Low over 30, Antonio over 30. And they're not key players. If not named to them, Blake over 30. Where the dynamic young player then? Bailey about 27, Gray about 27. We need some 22, 21-year-old dynamic players. Gonna say, Kranky, do you know who we are pursuing? Can I hear the names that you know? I don't know how to answer that question. And Green would not come no time soon. Let me say this again. Because those of you in YouTube land start out about it's 75% here, it's 80% here. I'm gonna stop telling people them Fars story. We have no idea where the Greenwood situation is. Let me just say that now. Okay? No. Who attack? Oh, no. So the stop set things one on say, cannot true not tell. It's on hold. That's what I know. Greenwood situation on hold, and hopefully it gets to a good point. I think eventually he'll play for Jamaica, but it ain't this window, and it's not no time soon. The only good thing about that is, what's the next window? Is the next window in June next year for World Cup qualifiers? Or is it Nations League? No, it's a Nation League again, right? In June is we play BVI and then we play Guatemala after that. But I think it may be some Nation League before that. Yeah, we need some young players. And then man talk about it now, pursue. You know what? We can't wait for you ask him when the young player in my pursue, because he's the thing I'm going with. Jim said, Kranky, you just said we need more PL players. We have young players playing high limits in PL to choose from. No, but I think we have some players. I just mentioned one name actually. Right? I just mentioned one name. There are more names. And next time, not sure I'll come back with all the names for you since Jason Gunnar, since now push. As I said, people like Kyle Walker-Peters we should be pursuing because he's playing minutes for Southampton. And he's been playing minutes when he's in the championship. Most people we have, Antonio would not score a goal. Let me tell you something, people. We'll get to that. I call out Claudine because I beat me. I make certain comments and beat me. I call out Claudine. We have to have the conversation, Claudine. I don't care what I want to say. For your, I have a question. Who do you think we can realistically get? If a player says no, then it's just no. Yeah, but here's the thing. If you don't ask me, you won't get the answer no. If you see a girl you like and you think that she's not in your class, me I say it raw, she's in your class. If you don't ask her out and she have to tell you no first, If you don't ask her out, you know, so she'll say yes. You'd be surprised. Maybe she like how you talk. Maybe she like your accent. Who knows what it is? But you have to put in your talk, right? You have to ask first. Claudine says, I've been saying this from 2 months ago. This man has done a recruiting. Why isn't any other players coming in? Yeah, and I forgot to mention this. My opening monologue should have said 2 things. Where's the coach? Because I didn't say that at the inception of this discussion. Where's the coach? Where's the coach? Where's the coach when he's not international window? We'll see him next week. But what does he do after the next 2 weeks pass? What does he do after that? Do we have any idea? And secondly, JFF, because I know some of you watch a program, even though you may not like what I'm saying, and I'll ask this question, if we get to talk to the JFF people, where's the post-mortem for the under 20? August, the under 20 done the people, we're in November. And here's the thing, people. I've said it before. I do not care where the players who play for Jamaica come from. If they come from England, if they are 23 come from Jamaica, if all 23 come from the US, if they're citizens, I don't care. But it's important we develop the talent where the talent resides. Now, people in the US and in the UK have more resources. And in Jamaica, the resources are not in abundance. And so therefore, the JFF and the clubs have to be leveraged. And we don't have a ton of academy there. You hear about things like Phoenix and 1 or 2 academy for the development of the elite talent. So my hope is that improvement we made there, because your under 23 teams and your under 20 teams supposed to be the suppliers for your senior team. Right? Kranky Live, you all pass on Dwight York for the job. How would I put this before the game? Dwight York was a brilliant footballer. But subsequent to his football playing career, his resume doesn't jump out at me. Now, I've said this before, people. Let me say this again, people. Because when I come on this program, people like to beat me and say, Kranky, I said this and him do this and him do that. Can't understand. I've said we need a Spanish coach, right? I've been saying that for the longest. We hire McLaren, can't change that. And why do I think we need a Spanish coach? Because, and when Rudolph Speed and I was on, I think it was Management program, we argued about this. Because he said, well, Spain didn't win anything till 2012 when Spain has won. But you think we don't understand people. Was it 2012? No, it was the World Cup. So it was what? 2010 World Cup. He was saying they didn't win anything, XYZ. If you look at Spain history, it's not a recent thing in the people. They have a sustained program. They keep delivering and delivering and delivering. Whether it's winning the World Cup in South Africa, whether it's winning the Euros, whether it's winning the Olympics for the men, whether it's the women winning the World Cup, whether it's being the final of the under-17, it's a continuum. And why I ask for a Spanish coach? Because we need a football philosophy, we need a style of play, and we need the football to be developed holistically from the grassroots up to the more senior level. And we need a coach to help oversee that has the know-how, that's been bought up programs that do it. That's why we need a Spanish coach. Okay? We brought in a person who's semi-retired, who come, spend 2 weeks, get some sunshine. Sometime you have to go in the winter and come to the US and go back in yard. He's not helping development football in Jamaica. The football in Jamaica needs a lot of help. He's not helping the football. So when people are giving me a hard time about certain things, and Kranky left the man alone, and Kranky, what you man want to do, him can't stay at Jamaica, it's more cheaper for him to go back to England. Some of that may be true, but he was the one involved in the FIFA talent development initiative, and he said that's part of the reason why he got the job, and I work with him. And him not do nothing. Yes, he's a part-time coach. All right? Part-time coach. Chris says, Jason, Suriname want the players. They don't have a problem with using players born overseas. Can we say the same about Jamaica? Well, I think some Jamaicans, Chris, are receptive to this. But as you hear Rudolph Speed says, his stakeholders, some of them don't want any persons born overseas to be part of the organization. Now, here's the thing. Here's what's interesting about this and what's unique about this. People, please hit the like button as you come in. Here's what's unique about this. Whereby, if you listen to the call today, which is a very fruitful call, a purposeful call, we had a 3 supporters group, all of them based in the diaspora, all trying to help the football. A lot of them probably have kids, or they involved in an environment where we have Jamaican people who are born in Jamaica, or some of them may even be people who have been naturalized, right? No, we're all Jamaicans. We're not trying to bifurcate between those who are born in Jamaica and those who are naturalized. If people that in the United States, where I live, where I'm a citizen, I'd lose my mind, right? I wasn't born in Jamaica, but I think I'm Jamaican like everybody else. You can't tell me no different. Nobody can tell me I'm not Jamaican. I'm not having it. So you can run your mouth all you want with them thing there. But I think the diaspora have to help to change that dynamics also, and change people's perception and minds. I think the JFF has to be now I understand the JFF stakeholders are the ones who vote them in. I think that's who they consider stakeholders. But that also needs to change, because there's a lot to be done, and the collective, which is holistically all Jamaicans, can contribute to that evolution of the football program. And here's my hope, people. I believe that if we create this supporters organization, not the three separate that we have now, but a more dynamic, much more collective group of people, which is all Jamaicans in and was Jamaica, and they're supporting the football program. I believe it can be a catalyst for the larger Jamaican, just how we support Jamaica. I actually believe that. I think sports can be a catalyst to help us as a people in our evolve, and how we evolve, how we improve, how we engage, how we communicate. And I think that should be something that we're thinking about as we go along in this process. Can I say I'm not a real Jamaican? Well, I don't know what a fake Jamaican is. No, what a fake Jamaican is. So maybe it's a real, Claudia. Maybe it's a real. Triple E say, listen to the insightful interview with Croatia former technical director Romeo Jozak about players development. Yeah, player development is an imperative for us, and we need all the help we can get. You need money, but what you need is technical expertise and people to know how to work with kids and work with junior people. And as before the game always tell me, you need people to develop the human being first versus the athlete. Good evening.
Evening, Kranky.
How are you doing?
Good. You're not Jamaican. Me just tell you. You say somebody can tell you, but but Kranky, let me say this, right? In terms of the player recruitment thing, right? I think sometimes we're a bit too caught up in when certain players don't play for Jamaica, in the sense that what if it is the case that some of the players just aren't good enough for the program? You know what I'm saying?
No. And I 43, I totally agree with that. Like, I don't think we should pursue certain players. I know some players who have got their passport. I'm like, we should pass on those players. Not everybody who get a passport should be playing for the national team, you know. We're not a pickup side, you know? Well, my song did say we're a pickup side, but anyway, we're a country where we should get the best talent to play for us, and some players may get their passport and they're not good enough. So you're Jamaican, but you're not good enough to play.
Yeah, and if you look at the club level, for example, right, in comparison to at the international level, when you're looking at club teams and they're going out there to purchase players, sometimes you see the keep hold of like a Mikel Antonio, for example, right?
Right.
Whilst you have a young striker out there, but the young striker probably is not going to give you what an older Mikel Antonio is going to give you, due to the fact that he just doesn't have that talent, or he'll not get to that level. So you pass up on that player until.
So wait. 43. What is that Mikel is giving us that we're missing from a young striker? I'm just curious.
Well, I'm saying I can't think of. There's only one striker I can think of right now.
Yeah.
That could help us, and it is Ellis Sims. And I don't know the situation with Ellis Sims.
I actually disagree with that. You don't think Cameron Archer could help us if he would like to come?
Well, I can't speak on a player that I've never really watched like that before. Cameron Archer
he plays for Southampton. No, he played for Southampton. Yeah, he played against Man City last weekend.
Okay.
I know he has England aspirations, but yeah, about him. Go ahead.
I've seen Ellis Sims. You know what I'm saying? So I'm speaking on Ellis Sims. So I think he's a striker who is very young. Has a good thing about him. Good attributes to him. You know, we saw it in the United game in the FA Cup semi-final, right? And he plays well for Coventry as well, especially after back end of last season. But I think a couple weeks ago, Oral Tracy was making the point that you have a lot of players, Kranky, in the diaspora who they can be passengers within this team, in the sense that they're not good enough. And it's not a bad thing to say. It's just that certain players will not be good enough for a certain system. So whilst we might have players who we would favor in this national team, you know, from a coach perspective, maybe it's like, you know what, I don't think he'll add anything to this midfield. And sometimes, you know, we'll come on YouTube and we're like, no, the coach now select the Monday over the Monday, Ray. But it's football, coaches have systems and not every player will fit a system. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is why under different coaches, you see a different influx of different types of players in terms of like what they can bring to a team, in terms of Hallgrimson's recruitment or what he wanted in comparison to what Steve McLaren is looking for, So
yeah, look, I do you know what Steve McLaren is looking for? I know he's looking for a player over 28. Is there any other criteria that they have?
I'm not sure what he's looking for. I mean, he's looking for players, but I don't really know. I mean, I guess players that want to play for Jamaica. That's the easiest thing I could say, right? But listen, when you talk about the likes of like the Mason Greenwood, Morgan Gibbs White, Reece Nelson, you said that Mason Greenwood is an old. You put him one side. Morgan Gibbs White, his eyes is set on England still. Reece Nelson, we don't know.
No, Morgan Gibbs White is cap-tied.
Well, cap-tied. Reece Nelson is not cap-tied, so we don't know what's going on.
Reece doesn't seem like he's interested. Look, people, Reece doesn't seem like he's interested. If he's not interested, it's fine. We move on.
Yeah, so the most the coach can do is say to himself, listen, do you want to play for Jamaica? This is the plan. If he says no, then no. Can the door still be open even if he shut it? I think it should be open still. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, they were born in England, so that's who they want to represent first. And I've always said to people, if you look at Ali Watkins and Ivan Toney, for example, yes, Ivan Toney might be in the Saudi Pro League now, but I'm not going to fully rule him out and say that he's not going to ever play for England again. And the fact of the matter is, his goal was to play for England. And even if he doesn't play any more games for them, he did accomplish his goal of playing for England. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that is a story that he'll have for his grandchildren at the end of the day to say that, listen, I played for England, that was my goal, and I accomplished that. So even if he not play 5 or 7 more games, so be it,
Yeah, look, I think it's a little bit complicated in terms of players choosing to play for England may not want to engage Jamaica about doing so. Because some of these kids have no affiliation with Jamaica. You hear Troy Deeney talk about this, right? In terms of he didn't have an engagement with Jamaica. He hadn't come back to Jamaica forever. His family and him may come out to Jamaica for the first time in 30 years or whatever it is. He's about 36, right? His dad was Jamaican, wanted to go back to Jamaica to live, but he wasn't part of that. And when he talked to Schaefer's telling him, you got to come play for your country, and he wasn't having it. That's him. And some people don't like Troy Deeney because they thought he was rude in his engagement, even though I think his grandmother's in Jamaica. But that's him. I can understand everyone's perspective. I can understand the Jamaica perspective, and some people take an affront to that. I can understand Deeney's perspective saying, I'm not interested. What we shouldn't do is take it personal. And we sometimes need to be taking this personal. If I turn you down, it's like a woman, I tell a man, I'm not interested, and the man I get vexed. I want to attack her. You know what? Take your denial and just move on. Go to the next one.
But listen,
don't take it personal.
My final point is that to make this process easier in terms of recruitment, right, Kranky?
Yeah.
Is that we have to remove the quota system in the sense that I'm of the belief that when a player is playing for like the academies in England, right, and they're 13, 14, once you remove the quota system at the youth level for Jamaica, if you get these players in early, they'll make natural progression through their youth teams at the club level as well as at the national level as well. So instead of just waiting on the player when he's 24 and he's in the first team of Manchester United or Aston Villa, whatever the case is, and he has his eyes set on England because he's playing at that level, and he's like, maybe I can get a selection. When you have him at 13, 14 and he's making the progression through the youth teams, and then he plays for the senior team and captain, then you have that player locked for years. You know what I'm saying? Rather than knocking on the door when he's 24, 25.
Yeah, and that's something. You know what? If Dennis comes on Wednesday, I'm gonna pose some of these questions to him, because my concern is that we're missing a whole generation of players because we said we have a quota and we're gonna stick and live by the quota. And look, I understand the reasons for the quota. I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong. I think it's illegal. I think it's discriminatory. So there's no ambiguity in my perspective about the quota. But I understand why they're trying to do something, right? But at the same time, you lose a whole generation of players. Because I've heard of one player who went to spend thousands of dollars to get their documentation to be told no, and they were good enough to play. Now, that person would probably never consider Jamaica again, right? That's how that works. And so you're frustrating people who think they're Jamaican, they act Jamaican, they eat the food, they talk Jamaican, they're family Jamaican, that's their heritage, they become citizens, and you tell them, I can't take you because you know what, this local player, they need it more than you do. And a lot of those kids don't come from the best circumstances either. They probably, some of them just as poor as the people in Jamaica. People don't seem to realize that. Some of them come from difficult situations, just like people in Jamaica are even worse. But we believe because they're overseas and they have better resources in terms of their development, that we should penalize them because we say we want to get them on a bus in Jamaica. I have no problem giving them on a bus. But you know what? Bus them playing in the Caribbean. Bus them playing against Suriname like we do the other day. Our French Guyana, who we beat 7-0. But no bus them get the US when we get 9-0. That's the difference.
And I think, before I go, I think we'll be in more trouble after the 2026 World Cup in terms of how we replenish the squad compared to now. Because it's an aging squad. And as you say, you're going to get to that. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely have to step up our recruitment drive in terms of the players that we're going to bring in for the future.
Yeah, no, I you know what? I have to jot down some of these questions. If Dennis does join me on Wednesday, which he said he will, I will see. Those questions need to be asked and answered, which is, what's the recruiting strategy?
Yeah.
What's the recruiting strategy? Because it needs to be a more holistic strategy.
One more thing, just so the people know. Mikel Antonio is Asian, right? You have Demar Gray, who has been inconsistent over his career. Ethan Pinnock is getting older. Yes. Not really worried about the goalkeeper position because I think we always have good goalkeepers, right? Fullbacks, we're quite good in that position. I think we could improve with the likes of Kyle Walker-Peters, which brilliant, played against United earlier this season. It was exceptional. You have the Max Aarons of the world who we should try to get in, right? But it's an aging squad and we'll have quality in certain areas. So we need to get in some of these players that can, listen, we'll eventually, as they always say, Kranky, our competition is no longer the Trinidads of the world and whatever the case is. A full-time now mover from them team there, with all due respect. We have to start to set up to go against the United States, the Mexico, the Canada, right? You look at the Canadians and their football program. They're the best in the region right now, and it's shown in the Copa America as well. And this is through years of planning and recruitment and putting in the right people, especially the appointment of Jesse March, who I think will give a lot to Canada in comparison to Steve McLaren, who obviously isn't here on a long-term plan.
Yeah, Steve McLaren is here. Well, he's not here now, but he'll be here. So,
yeah. Well,
yeah, man. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. This person's trying to call. Let me call him back. Before the game, a person not answering. Before the game says, please tell the caller TNT would always be your competition. In what? Before the game is there a new sport? Oh yeah, I think in cricket you're going to be really good. You probably beat us in cricket actually, but if it's football or track and field, so did you win anything at the Olympics? No. How's your football team doing? When players played you? You didn't turn up. I don't think so. Now here's the thing: if we don't have any of our overseas-based players, not necessarily overseas-born, overseas-based, so we'd have the Blakes, we'd have the Nicholsons, then yeah, you have a chance. And you did that actually when we played the last time when Agrimson was here, when we didn't have the overseas-based players. But if Jamaica bring back all its players, no matter where they were born or whatever, I think Trinidad would struggle. I think you're struggling. So before the game, I don't think you're a competition right now. I think you're with the rest of the Caribbean. Even though look, Cuba get better, and the dangerous team is going to be to me Dominican Republic at some point. You know, clip this for future reference. So you said Dwight York will create miracles. Hey, before the game, Dwight York doesn't have a fountain of youth to go play for Trinidad now. It's not happening. Say it, we feel it, but Dwight York can't play. He may coach, he may manage, but he can't play. Trinidad is far away from Jamaica as they stand now. The Trinidad I knew growing up was probably better than Jamaica in a lot of respects in football. And even when it turned of the century, when Latapi and Yorkie was there and all the other Stern, John and those players, they were very good, but they have gone south. Only thing Trinidad pursue Jamaica in and get close, a murder rate. That's it. But anyway, that was a low one, but I had to bring that out. Let's say if Giovanni was born in the next squad, but yeah, can't have all of them. But yeah, now run down Jamaica. I think you're not 30-something per 100,000. We have 50-something. And you guys have been going at your guys' trajectory. You're running quickly. You're not even slowing down to get there. You're going quickly. So, all right. So let me go to I want to do the Jamaica thing 7 o'clock now. So I have 6 more minutes. People hit the like button. People, you guys, 173 people in the chat, 107 likes. Those numbers are not digestible. I'm not receptive to those numbers. They need to change. They need to change people. Come, people, change the number. Kranky, TNT future look bright going forward. The TNT change? Which TNT we are talking about? We're talking about Trinidad and Tobago, God bless you. What do you mean? Have you seen Trinidad play of late? They have a halfway decent team. And before the game, have a couple of sons who play for Trinidad. Well, let me say this. Trinidad and Jamaica are on the same level. They're not on the same level. Farmers, Jag said, but Trinidad can get... See, here's the problem, people. People, here's the thing. Jamaica ungrateful enough. Jamaica ungrateful bad. You know why? So unlike Trinidad, who when they have their oil money, they migrate. Jamaica never have their money there. So they migrate enough. Right? Especially go England after World War II. And especially when they have to go rebuild England after World War II. So they produce a lot of kids who are Jamaican heritage can play for Jamaica. Right? Trinidad don't have that because they may have oil money, they don't need that. So them can't call upon those exports, if you want to call it that, or those heritage players, which I hate, to come back and play for Trinidad. They don't have them. They may have some in the US, but even those may be few and far between. So Jamaica have that, and Jamaica fight it. Jamaica have something, they have an asset which they exported. Now they can leverage off it. They must fight the asset. While Trinidad, which they had some of the asset, even though Trinidad construct is that I don't think they go to grandparents level, which make it even worse for them. Right? They don't have nobody. Because we got grandparents, they don't got grandparents. Now put it up. I'll put it up. Trinidad said, "Man said, oh no, all Jamaica's putting was yeah, I shouldn't put that up. That's bad of me." But so Trinidad is gonna struggle because if it's only gonna leverage, it's like the rest of the Caribbean people. Caribbean is challenging. If you don't leverage the domestically developed players, where you don't have the infrastructure, you don't have the know-how, you don't have the coaches, you don't have the resources, it's gonna be hard for them to compete. Oh, God bless, we'll see. It looks like Curacao and them country do better than Trinidad, trust me. And Turks and Caicos. I think Suriname, you got to be concerned about Suriname. Because Suriname doesn't have the xenophobia that Jamaica has. And they're importing anybody who lived in Holland, who walk past Holland, who will come close to Holland, they're importing all of them. So they'll have a decent team. Right? They'll have a decent team. Yeah, but the coach don't want to bring in the young players, which is disappointing. So that question needs to be asked to the coach. There's two questions. People, those of you who are going to be in the press conference, could you please ask these two questions, please? If you want me to construct the question for you in a more digestible form, I'll do so. One is, where the coach? We in the Jamaica. Where I do? That's the first question. If you want it in English, I can give it in English too. The second is, you made a statement, coach, that is right for those players who are under 24 and younger to play for England. Why is that? Why can't they have a decision they want to play for another country? And are you recruiting? Because I was told, like Claudine said, she's heard, and I've heard the same thing, that he's not recruiting young players. That's what I was told. He's not recruiting young players. So if you're in the press conference, I'm going to have Ketterak watch a program, because Ketterak, I don't know when I ask some very, very inquisitive type question. I'm going to ask the question then, people. If I'm right, if you write it and give it to them, to make it not sound confrontational. But those questions need to be asked. In fact, if I was asking the question, it'd probably just as be direct as that, actually. Because you hear Ravel said the man say him love Jamaica and want to coach Jamaica for a long time, so then get the job. But then him got my kind of yard. I don't understand that. See, and the coach Jamaica remotely. No, Triple E, you tell us the man understand in Jamaican. Like I tell, enough English people understand patois. Enough of them understand patois. Don't have that misconception that they don't. No care what nobody want to tell me. Enough of them understand patois. And I proved that when I went to England to live. Enough of them understand it. When talk it better than you talk it. Chris said, Kranky, don't underestimate Suriname because the better they do, the more players coming in. Yes. Chris, people don't seem to realize that, Chris. When players are peeping in, people for defense like Maverick used to say, and they must say, oh, Suriname win, they have a chance to go World Cup. Holland now call me. You know what? Put me stepping foot in the water. That will happen. And some of them don't like to be in Holland because they're not treated right. So they may go to play for Suriname. And if they do well and get to the World Cup and we don't, you know what? I don't even want to think about that. I don't want to think about it. So it's 7 o'clock, people. So let me go to the whole idea about the thumbnail that basically says Yeah, Connor, we have a lot of young players in Jamaica, but will they become Jamaican citizen or US citizen or British citizen and don't want to play for Jamaica because we have a quota system? So I said that Jamaica's offense is anemic, which means that it's sick, in our work, you need help, they're on life support. People, may I take a break? I'll drink some water, can I get upset? 170 something people, 119 likes. That number's not worth. I mean, 50 something people, if we can't add, hit the like button. I'll get my water and drink my water. Well, I'm gonna start hit the like button. May I take a little break? When I hit the like button, people, because you know mystery. Hit the like button. Let me take a little break and hit like. I'll wait for the like button get some more hits before we start talk again. And to do that, I know someone will leave, but if you leave because you not hit the like button, then leave. Something I always say now. If you don't want to let the body in leave, then leave. Your views are already there. With no like, you know, make other people watch the program, so I can't fight with it, but you can't leave. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. You know what's funny about this actually? Tycoon is saying, Kranky, I agree. Like you said, Stevie's conflicted. Totally showed me different when he comes to. Yeah, no, I think people don't realize that it's a true conflict, you know. I think some people in Jamaica don't even think about they don't I'm not sure they fully grasp the concept of conflict. It's sometimes some people are just conflicted. It's almost innate. That means it's just part of their being. It seems natural. Natural people. It should never be natural. It should never be natural. I don't agree with that. If he comes to Jamaica and he's English, and my boss said they need to play for England, then go back here. Sorry, that sounds rude, but go back here. We go get somebody who want to recruit them. We teach the Spanish man to speak English. You know something? We shouldn't be going through that. It should be no coach doing some of this. Jamaica should have a recruiting strategy and people in place that are affiliation with the clubs to engage these players. Now, they obviously got to talk to the coach eventually because the coach is the one going to select his players. But we should have a pipeline and a process for both getting the documentation, helping the documentation, naturalizing them, getting them into the system. But we just sit back and say, you know what? If they want to come, and then we unknown, say we have them 4 people in the pipeline, and the people making those announcements don't have all the information. It's just not a good look. Not a good look. Right? And I don't want to come talk about the Kranky, I look at job with the JFF. That's why I talk about them thing, yeah. I talk because I have a mouth. I'm not on job with the JFF. Good question, Christopher Wisdom. No, I haven't heard anything about that, you know. I think that'd be a harder pipeline to pursue, right? Not just because of language barrier, just because of how far down the generation chain these people may be actually. So we have people in Nicaragua, we have people in Panama, Costa Rica, all those places, but they're probably much more embedded than we have necessarily pursue those avenues actually. And language barrier sometimes becomes a detriment versus a positive for you. So, but look, if you have a recruiting strategy, all those should be explored, right? All those avenues should be explored. Holland, I know we have a player in Holland at Ajax who is part of the under 20, I think it is, who wanted to be a part of the under 20, and we didn't bring him in. The captain, Ajax under 17 or under 20, one of them. We have player at Tottenham. We have player all over the place who want to become part of the under 20, and we never bring them in. And then the under 20 get beat up, and when I realize we only hurt ourselves. Because we want to know how much under 20 players, those people who decided to have that quota, how much of them go get looking? You think nobody look on you when you get 9 love and 3 love and 3 love? When you get 15 love, nobody look on you. They must say, I don't know good. If there's good player in the mix, they must say, I don't know good. So I don't know hurt the players them. If you have a good mix of players, it'd be a different story. Because people look on you when you're doing well. They're not looking on you when you're not doing well. I don't know how that works. Chris says, Kranky, we have so many past players in England that is well respected. Wes Morgan, Joby, the list goes on. Yeah, and I think if we, just like how they're creating the whole diaspora community, supporters community, they could do that with past players. Not only in the UK, across the board. Who may involve in clubs or an organization, want to help, or be part of the whole construct. But you need vision and you need thought process to do some of these things. So who knows? Yeah, I mean, the coach has Trevor Sinclair as part of his squad in there, but I don't think Trevor is Jamaican. I'd prefer Burton being part of that squad for the coach, who's played for Jamaica, who's part of the 98 team versus Trevor Sinclair, who I don't know what value he adds. Who knows? I guess he must be a coach. I didn't hear he has any license, so who knows? But I asked this question actually. I wonder how the coach got the job. Was it affiliation with Rudolph Speed? Because I've said this before on the previous programs last week, which is this. And this is to everyone who's on the chat who may be young, because I'm not interviewing for jobs anymore. When I'm interviewing for a job, I spend so much time doing research about the company. If I can get information about the person who's going to run the department I want to work in, about the person, I'll do my due diligence with people who may know them. I do review of anything that's out there, which is authentic, which is credible, which can help me differentiate myself in the interview process. Right? I have no idea how McLaren got the job because he doesn't know the players. How are you going to take a job where you don't know the players? Have you guys ever thought about that? How are you going to take a job where you don't know the players? Every time you ask about the players, you say, oh, Maran Garden. And you guys think I'm just cranky, just making this thing up and just going on about this over and over again. I don't understand. Chris said, Trevor Sinclair of Jamaican connection. I never hear Trevor Sinclair talk about Jamaica ever. And he played for England. I think he played in the 2002 World Cup. I'm almost sure he did for England, actually. Was it 2002 or 2000? The ones in Korea, I think he played. He played right wing. And he played for Man City. I didn't know he had Jamaican roots. Most of the people wear it on their sleeve. I didn't know he has it. So maybe he does. Jason going to say, Kranky, what are the level of resources when comparing JF to your previous employer? There's no comparison. Right? There's no comparison. My previous employers, not employer, had a lot of resources. A lot of resources. Some of them had too many resources. A lot of resources. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. And resources, not just money, people. Because sometimes we mistake resources. Resources also include human capital. Right? Resources include human capital. It's not just physical resource, not just buildings and assets. Part of the asset is human capital. So I'm not going to compare the JFF to any multinational corporation. Because it's a football JFF, just like other JFF. I compare, you will do a comparison just in terms of how people operate. But the better benchmark are other MAs, actually. There are other administrations with better benchmarks. If you compare them to Spain, which some people may say unfair because Spain is big, I compare them to Uruguay, for example. That's better comparisons. Crank, I don't agree that that's fair given the number of Jamaican employees. I'm not sure what is that relating to Tripoli. Not sure what that means. Chris Burton is with the girls. Yeah, I think I heard that actually. Don't hate. Yeah, that's a good thing. Is the disparity in resources a part of why the process don't look like what we're describing? No, not at all, actually. So here's an example that one should take away. Is that before Simon and management went into the JFF, so you talk about resources, certain things were in disarray. You hear Ravel talk about it. Certain things were in disarray. Right now, part of that may have been money, because we know JFF just started getting money for the last year and a half. But part of that was the people. If you have good people in the seat and they know what they're doing, they can create miracles. And if you watch Simon running the press conferences, you can see he knows what he's doing. It was different from the previous conferences that were run. There's no comparison between Simon running press conferences versus who was in Simon's seat previously. That's an example. Marvin, the update on Nelson is he's not ready at this time. The update on Greenwood is it's on hold. That's all I'll say about that. It's on hold. But the point I'm making about the coach is this: if you go interview for a job, you gotta go with it. You hear when Pochettino interview for US job, you can go with that dossier, every player, strengths, weaknesses, what them play, what them do, history. Same thing when Emery went to. That's what coaches do. Then what do you talk about in an interview? Like, what do you talk about in an interview? I just look on the resume and say, you know what, you get the job. I would love to hear some of those interview questions. Because the coach, when somebody said the coach was a modern coach in the interview, in one of the press conferences, the coach never explained what a modern coach does and what he does, and he's a modern coach. He just talk about something else. Oh, how can a coach? So Tripoli, you're saying that what I'm saying is unfair? No, Tripoli, Triple E. He should know the players, Triple E. He's going for a job interview. What the hell does he talk about in the job interview? What he used to do? If you're a coach going to coach a team, you have to know what you're getting. Why would you take a job when you don't know the players? You got to know what you're getting involved in. Why would you take a job when you know the players? You're trying to enhance your resume, not make your resume worse. So you got to know who the players are. I got to know the region. I got to understand the region. I got to see them competing against. Can I get the team to its destination with the players I have? What other available players do I? Of course, you need to know at least the team that's playing currently. At least the 23. Triple E, we totally disagree. Don't agree with you. Don't agree with you, Triple E. No. Greenwood want to play. Float management. Let me just say, we don't want to talk too much. Greenwood wants to play, people. That's all I'll say. Greenwood is not the issue. Reece Nelson, to me, I heard about Reece Nelson. He's not pushing this. Yeah, he played well today. Greenwood wants to play. There are other complications. And when the people who are running these programs want to come talk about it, they'll do so. He wants to play. The JFF want him to play. The JFF is encouraging him to. JFF will do whatever it is to get Greenwood. Let me just say that. But it's not a JFF hold up, people. We can't blame the JFF for this one. Things going to take longer. They'll work themselves out. So don't blame the JFF for Greenwood. Don't blame Greenwood either. Stuff are just where the stuff are. Don't blame Pika either. Now blame nobody. It will eventually work itself. That's all I'll say. But in this window, it may take a little while. But hopefully it will happen. There's a hold up, but hopefully it'll happen. That's all I'll say. So Claudine, you have a question? Claudine said no one's asking any sensible questions. I wouldn't say no one. I think cataract questions were not. Look, some of the people ask questions, but they're general questions, right? We want the coach to. So here's the thing, people. Here's what you guys should do. If you guys have questions you think that we should ask, then post the questions on my channel, and maybe I'll gather them and see if there's any questions there. Because I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the questions. I have my own perspective in terms of it. But there's nothing like an abundance of intellectual capital. I always say this, where everyone is contributing to the conversation. You can pick sense out of nonsense, or you can pick sense out of sense. That's the way I view it. So Claudia may have a brilliant question I haven't thought about. Triple may have one. Jam Up TV may have one. Jamaica Vibes may have one. You never know. Bless up Jamaica Vibes. Spee and Toe may have one. We don't all think the same. We don't all have all the answers. But if we bring it all together, like what Amazon does, that's them take your best idea, them, like what Apple does. When you build an app, then you just kill your app by building for them one thing on them phone. The people who build app, Apple use the app store to help them. They make money off of it to improve their product. It's genius. It's ingenious, actually. It's genius. You build an app and then just kill your app by just putting it on them phone. See your app dead, but them get benefit from it. You may get some money from the app now, but at some point, the app becomes obsolete because they make it almost innate to their phone. Same concept with these sort of questions. You ask the question, put the questions together. I look at the best one. There may be some I haven't thought about, some others may not have thought about, and then hopefully get asked. Someone said 3 new players in the team. Yeah, but the 3. Well, there's a question between: are we going to call all the players that got their papers? That's the question. That's the question. Before the game says thievery. Thievery is in, you know. Thievery is in. A lot of people plagiarize, copy, take one off of them. So thieving is in. So let me go to this. You know what? We're going to have the whole show now and talk about this, which was in the thumbnail. So I said Jamaica's offense is anemic, right? I didn't pull any punches saying that. And I truly believe it. So what do I mean by that? So let's see if we can pull this out. Having some difficulty here. Okay. This is better. I think the offense is anemic. And why do I say that? So this is Jamaica team stats. This is Jamaica team. So if you guys can read this, let me try to pull it up. So in Jamaica's last 10 games, tell me how many goals we have scored from open play in the last 10 games, people. I will get to your question, Rob Smith. I'll get to your question, Rob Smith. People, in our last 10 games, How many goals have we scored from open play? Tycoon says, Jamaica easy. It's not everything. Kranky. If Dujon Sterling and Miles Pert Harris got their document, I think they would get called right away. Yeah, I think Dujon Sterling would. I watch him. He's also a versatile, Chris. He can play multiple positions. He'd be a good addition, actually. He'd be a good addition. Kranky, we have 8 to 9 recruits every game. We said, will Dixon make it better? I'm not saying, people, get this right. I'm not saying Dixon should start. Don't confuse what I'm saying. I'm not saying Dixon should start. I'm saying something got to change. We can't keep playing like this. So, people, you guys have answered me now. I just asked the question: how many goals have we scored from open play in the last 10 games? I have the last 10 games up here, which is important. How many goals have we scored from open play? Claudia said, Kranky so far is acting the ones that have been acting so far, but one is why aren't the players being quite a few that my sources have been contacting? Yeah, I know, Claudine. There have been. I don't want to get too deep into it, but the coach have been contacting players. That's all I'll say. It's my understanding. No, we're not doing the last 50, King J. Because we play against Trinidad and Trinidad. And we beat them up. We're not doing the last 50. Because Trinidad tonight. So people, you guys are not answering now. How many goals have we scored from open play in the last 10 games? No, they add up, don't it? No, add up and reflect. How many goals have we scored from open play in the last 10 games? So look at the stats. In the last 10 games, we have scored 10 goals, right? We have given up 10 goals. Our home form is not great. We have won 1 of the last 4 home games, drawn 2, lost 1. Away stats is much better. Win 4, lose 2, right? So my question again, how many goals have we scored from open play in the last 10 games? So here's the last 10 games, I think it is. We played Dominican Republic. We played, you know what? We should do the last 7. Yeah, somebody's right. Rob Simmons, the last 7. Last 7 is probably better. But last 10 games, we played Dominican Republic. We played Dominica. We played Honduras twice. We played Nicaragua. We played 3 in the Copa. We played 2 in the... So we had 3 Copa, 2 Nations League. Like last year, that's 5. This time around, so Dominican Republic and Dominica was away, right? If you look at the stats, actually, and if you look at even the last 7 games, so it's 3 Copa and 2 Nicaragua, Cuba. Yeah, so Dominican Republic wasn't in the last 10. Neither was Dominica, right? Because we played Cuba once at home. We played Honduras at home. We played Honduras away. We played Nicaragua away. That's 4. We played 2 in Nations League. We played 3 in Copa. People, the numbers are anemic. Take out Dominica and Dominican Republic. Let's say they're not good. You know the 3 games we played in, for the 3 games we played in Copa, for the 2 Honduras game, for the Nicaragua game, and the 2 games we played in Nations League, we're not scoring on goal from one player now. Let me say that again. In the Nations League against the US, we scored off a set piece that was headed over, right? Again, well, we scored the one from open play, but not the forward scored. The one by Lambekiza scored, right? Against Honduras, we didn't score anything from open play. One game we got a penalty. One game we got a home goal. One we got a set piece. Same thing with Nicaragua. We didn't score any goal against Cuba. Our open play goals are beyond awful. Like beyond awful. I don't think people realize how bad it is, And we're talking about we have Premier League players in our team. Gray was a Premier League player. Antoni's a Premier League player, right? Bobby Reed is a Premier League player. We're not scoring. So when Claudia and others want to beat me and give me a hard time, I go look at the stats. I'm just saying something needs to change. What we're doing is not scored. Antonio has scored, and this is not beating Antonio, played 10 games for West Ham. He scored 1 goal this season. People say Leon going to be the savior. Leon coming back. Leon ain't scored this season. Where the goals going to come from? The goals Gray's not scoring. The goals them dry up. When Gray played against a better team, he's not scoring. When he played in the semi-final, final, like Gold Cup, in the semi-final, quarter-final Gold Cup, did he score? When he played in a Copa, did he score? When he play a Nations League, when we play against Panama, did he score? Our forwards are not scoring. Now we can say this, right? So that's obvious, actually, that something has to give, people. Something has to give. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. When we played against who we played against? When we played against Honduras, we had over 60% possession. We had the keeper made 0 saves. It's the first game in my entire life I've ever seen where a team dominated possession that much and had no shots on target. The keeper to make no save. Take 4 shots, none on target. So we're not scoring goals, people. That's a problem. Oh, you beat the US when you not score goal. Our stats against the US is this. Now, the US stats aren't necessarily the greatest in the world, because I did pull them up. But you got to look at the US competition, right? So if you look at the US stats, because when you're doing your research, you have to make sure, yeah, do apples to apples in some respects. So the US in their last 10 games, they have given up 14 goals, right? They have scored 11, given up 14. And people will say, oh my God, that's horrible. Right? And they have won 3 of those games. They have lost 5. But, you see here, people? Look at who they play. Look at the list of players. I should have for Jamaica also. If you look at their list of teams they played, right? They look at the teams they played. They played Mexico. They played Colombia. They played Brazil. Obviously, they beat Bolivia. They played Panama. They played Uruguay. They played Canada. They're not playing no easy team. So the level of competition they're getting is better than what we're getting. We are playing Honduras and Nicaragua when we're struggling with Dominica. So their stats may not be great, in terms of 11 goals for and 14 against. But look at the competition they're playing. They can only get better based on this competition. And they're not getting beaten badly, except for the Colombia 5-1 Copa. I think they didn't have 10 men for that game. I thought they did. But look at the competition they're playing. So their stats is not great compared to ours. They have 11 in 10. But they're playing against really good competition. We're not scoring against inferior competition. So I am concerned, people. I'm concerned about the scoring a lot thereof. Kranky, just saw a report in Jamaica, Observer, that your favorite player is eager to play for Jamaica. Some of the fans are roasting him in the comment section. I can't blame them. Which player is that, BM? My favorite player is eager to play for Jamaica. Who are we talking about? You talking about Hayden? Who are you talking about, BM? Oh, they had 10 men against Panama. Yeah, they did have 10 against Panama. Yeah, and they lost 2-1, right? But they lost 5 to Colombia, which is not a good score. So who is that player, BM? Who's one of my favorite players? I have a few of them, Which player is this? No, Triple E. I think it's more of... So I came up with my own... I documented it. I came up with my own perspective about why we're struggling. So let me see if we can find it. No, you know what? I have to show this first. Every time I show this, I have to show this first. I think this is important. This is what I call ineffective position, people. Ineffective possession stats. Because I've shown this before. I'm going to show it again. This is Jamaica against Honduras. You see down here, we had, and I think it got 61% possession, right? Which is great. They had 39%, right? Let me make this right. So then we took 4 shots, they do 13. This is hard for you, people. It's hard for you to have 61% possession. You take 4 shots, opponent take 13. Our goalkeeper made 5 saves, then goalkeeper made 0 save. So we took 4 shots and not go close to the keeper have a save. Blake had to make 5 saves. These stats are unbelievable. We made 447 passes. I will love to go sideways. They make 290. Right? It's kind of amazing, given these stats, that you have 61% possession and you were ineffective, frankly. Which then leads to the fact that you're not creating anything. Now, here's a couple of things that I sort of think about actually when I think about it. So I'll say this. I'm trying to find something I had put up. So here's my view on this. 1, lack of cohesive play. One of the primary issues I see in the team is that we're inconsistent in our offensive build-up. We often lack fluidity and cohesion in passing sequences, which can disrupt the flow and the rhythm when you're playing. So if you don't have a structured playing style on how you play, attackers going to struggle to find space. And you're going to have people isolated or then get double teamed and you don't have no outlet. The midfield, we talk about the midfield. Your midfield is supposed to bridge the gap between your forward and your defense, right? The midfield protect the defense, then bridge the gap, then help with the offensive flow. We have a disconnect between the lines. There's gaps in terms of your transition from defense to offense, which slow down the team, people. And here's another thing. Our midfielders are not able to take the ball under pressure. Now, I like Latia as a player. But I watch Latia try to receive the ball on the edge of the box and him struggle. You watch Lafayette this weekend for Chelsea, how he drops his shoulder and gets out of trouble. And when you drop your shoulder and be the first line of defense, the defense starts scramble. They don't help to break defensive line. None of the line them. The first line, second line, or third line, they're not breaking those lines, people. You look at when you see Rodri play for Man City, for example, how he break that first line, the first line, so maybe 4 forwards and the 10. You see how he breaks that line? He played the ball behind the forward, just a little cute pass to De Bruyne. So I beat the first line of defense. There's only 2 more lines remaining. We can't beat the first line of defense because our midfielders don't have the ability to receive the ball under pressure and make a decision. And the movement of the ball is not there for him to get the ball. And then sometimes we want to rely upon individual talent. The individual talent now show up now. A Gray, Antonio, a Bailey, a Cephas. Well, let me take Cephas out, I mean. Our individual players are not beating them man one-on-one. We start complaining about them might get double team. I watched Doku this week. I'm using Doku as an example. I'll take out the Doku thing. I see other wingers roast them, man. Force the defense to converge on them. Create space for others. Not happening. Our finishing also is not the best. But you know what? We don't even create. I can't even talk about the finishing. Because if you have 61% possession and you have 4 shots and none per target, there ain't no finishing happening there. You ain't in a position to score. Also, is the width what it should be? So I saw Holgate the last game. Just like he created people in ball. Get the ball. I thought he was the old low. Just get the ball and just blast it downfield. Like you're scratching your head saying, Holgate, what are you drinking? You play football at EPL. This is not League One football or National League football. This is Championship. I play ball on the ground. So it's Premier League. Why is Holgate kicking the ball way down the field to nobody? And just making people all upset and mad. I'm just coming at the team. If you go wide, right? If your right back and your left back go wide or they go up the field, the defense has to make a decision. If your keeper is comfortable with the ball and he has the ball, he or she has the ball, somebody got to make a decision. If you go attack the keeper, somebody's open. It ain't rocket science, people. And it's frustrating to watch. And we don't do a good job of progressing the ball up the field. Now, no, you have to have the technical ability to receive the ball under pressure. And you know something? I watched the game in Jamaica. I'm going to call you out, Palmer. Even though I met you a nice guy, I'm going to call you out. You got 2 or 3 balls in that game where you got dispossessed because you had no idea where you were. 0. You didn't glance. If you are playing midfield, your head is on a swivel. You look 24/7 when you're there. If the man comes on your left, you know, you reach ball up on the right and you shield the man. That's basic stuff, which I know they learn. It's not being exhibited on the field. It's frustrating to watch. You shouldn't be dispossessed because you don't know where you are in the field. And that happened to him 2 or 3 times in the game. And I heard the crowd moaning, and they should moan. They should moan. Because if you're going to receive the ball as a midfielder, you're supposed to know where you are. At a minimum, know where you are. And know where you're going to go before you get the ball. If you watch Partey play midfield, people, I think he's the best that I've seen at it. I know Rodri's brilliant, but I watched a lot of Arsenal. I watched a lot of City. I watched Partey play. Before Partey get the ball, he knows where he's going with the ball. But he's not convicted to that. He's not necessarily going to go there. No. He knows where he want to go. He knows where his outlet is. And sometimes he just use the outlet right away to recycle the ball. You know what? Let me go there. I need to be in a better position to receive the ball. He will be in the process of making a pass and see the defender trying to cut it off, and he'll change his mind. Or he'll do what Ronaldinho used to do. He'll do a look-away pass. He'll look left, right, and just go right, for example. He'll create a situation where he can create space for his team and for himself to allow the ball to progress. That's why I'm not a big Declan Rice fan, because he's a sideways footballer. And then tell me how great him is, my sideways footballer. Him can receive the ball under pressure and move with the pressure and get the ball up the field as he should, or get the ball between the lines. Not happening. And if you're a midfielder and you want to create create problems for the opposition, you have to be able to do that. Before the game says, Kranky Live, the last two coaches keep repeating the vibes in the team is good. A good environment is important, but a place comfortable at home, which leads to complacency. So before the game, is saying that when I show the stats, we only had 1 win in our last 4 games at home, or we had 4 wins away from home, which is supposed to be more difficult. Our people, we're going to a hostile environment. We won the US, which wasn't hostile because we played Panama, even though we should have also beaten the US. So you can say we played well in a hostile environment. We should have won that game. We won in Nicaragua. We won in Honduras, and yet we didn't beat Nicaragua at home. And Nicaragua dominated us at home, even though we had more possession, which seemed to be strange and seemed contradictory. Right? Strange and contradictory. Because how can you dominate possession and get dominated in the team? Because you know what? My goalkeeper was flying around making saves. Their goalkeeper wasn't. Please hit the like button, people. I appreciate. By the way, 140 something likes. I even though we have 150 in the chat, I'm sure 300 people have passed through because it normally works. I check the stats when I'm done. I check the stats a lot, actually. So hit the like button. Those who haven't hit the like button yet, people, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to Balanced View and to Kranky Life, please do so. All right? Please do so. So it's important, people. I don't understand. And look, I like Lati as a player. And Lati's stats are very, very good. But there's certain things missing in Lati's game that we need in the midfield. That's why you hear me agreeing with Claudine, which I really hate. I really hate to do. And like to agree with Claudine. I like the battle. That Ravel needs to be in the team. I don't care what the coach on talk about. I don't care if Ravel is playing corner league. So long as he's running around, I never a big belly infinite team, people. We need a person who the ball is part of their being. When Ravel is playing, the ball is part of that. There's very few players enough people. Go look some stats. Do something with Lavella play with Jamaican. Him chest the ball on somebody and do a little flick here and there. The ball is just part of him. You hear him on the podcast when he was interviewed by Troy Genie about Dini saying, boy, I've been playing 5-a-side Ravel to win, because Ravel has the ability to create space when there's no spaces there. Football is a part of his being. Now, is he the best thing sliced bread? No. Does he give trouble? Well, and I'm getting no trouble in Jamaica. I can say him love come at Jamaica. The vibes are the best. By the way, before the game, Robert said Jamaica vibes are the best. He said the organization is disorganized, or the organization is not organized. Not saying the JFF, but the organization is not organized. You know what that means? But him love the vibes. Him love Jamaica, the best vibes ever. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Robert said, I'm playing about 1.5 years now. So, yeah. But Ravel will, look, if we want to beat the best people, let me just say this. We have played the US 33 times. We have won 3 times. The US team is only getting better and better and better. They made the last 16 of the World Cup, didn't they? Right? They outplayed England when they played England in the World Cup in the group stages. I know they got battered in Copa, but part of it was didn't work out well for them. Colombia was playing well, was unbeaten a number of games. They got a record against Panama, didn't work out well. They lost to Canada. So they're going through some kind of changes, but they have a new coach now. We're going to get them right, I think. And they have good players. Reyners, Musa, Balagan, Wea, Adams, who will come back now, just start playing the other day, have them back surgery. Robinson, who looked really, really good today. They have good players. If we want to beat them, we can't just sit in a low block and hope to get a lucky goal. We have to have some talent on the field to make them fear us and to release some of the pressure that we have. Ravel will help to relieve pressure. You need to relieve pressure, people, because they're going to press us because they don't think we can keep the ball. But we can't go try to play the kick and run football because, you know what, kick the ball up the field and get it, then pressure us again. I watched the game in Dallas up close enough. We could have won the game, but it wasn't close. We're holding on for dear life. It's like Brentford today. Brentford held on for getting battered by Fulham for like 80-something minutes. And when the damn opening, it busts, the damn busts. Because you're not making the opposition play defense. All they do is playing offense. That can't be the game. It can't be the game. So I would love to get Ravel in the team. I would love for Ravel to join. Ravel to me is not a savior, But he's better than what we have. He's better than all the midfielders, them. Probably combined. Better than Palmer, better than Hayden. And Hayden probably going to come and start. He's better than Emergency Holgate or Low in the middle. He's better than all those players as a midfielder, right? His work rate may be challenged because he's same train in middle of the Asadi or EAB when there. But at the end of the day, I do think he would add value to the team. And I hope they call. He may not get a call, but I hope they get a call. Ravel and Russell Ramos. I am, where's that is? I am not the biggest Russell fan, I won't admit. I'm a Ravel disciple. So Jamaican Vibes say Ravel is in the team. Yeah, I haven't got that information yet, so I don't know. We don't get them information there. So someone may know more than me. I know the team may have been selected already. So yeah. In fact, I know the team has been selected already, but I don't know the players in the team. I wasn't getting that information, but I know the team has been selected. And some people who are not going to come probably know they're not to come. Jerris Ross is in form. Yeah, I haven't seen him play actually, so I shouldn't probably comment on it. But when I saw him play previously, I wasn't overly impressed. I need dynamic midfield. If you're playing midfield, people, if you're not a destroyer, play the 6, then you gotta have something about you. I never see nothing distinguishing about Russell. Now, Hayden, I know, can play the 6. He's played the 6, played for the EPL for Newcastle. Don't know where he is fitness-wise or playing-wise, but you don't forget how to play. The question is, can you cover the ground? Are you the same? Because you had an ACL issue. We might see Flemo. Interesting. Yeah, Russell is like the Titanic gaming. I agree with that one. No, Pinnock played well today, by the way. I saw him play well. Look. You don't hear me talk about the defense now. The defense is okay. Right back is still a challenge. Omari Bell is probably still out because he had a bad hamstring injury. But defense, we're all right. We can play 3 at the back if need be. Defense, we're okay. Low is playing. I'm going to stop beat Low now, people. Low is playing well. Low has done well. Low off his start. Low and Pinnock in the defense. Pinnock slower, but he read the game well. Low overly aggressive, but Pinnock can cover him. We're okay defensively against the US. Right back, Tavon Gray played well last window, but I'm not the biggest fan, I'll admit. Greg Lee played decent. We'll see what happens. A forward line, somebody will touch midfield last. Forward line, Antonio can't play the first game. I've been told that Boza, Amari Bell is back. I haven't seen him back actually. He played 90 minutes? Okay, good. So maybe he can come. Even though sometimes the club come up with excuses and then get injured, so they not come. But if he come, then I like Amari Bell to play instead of Greg Lee, to be honest. So if we go forward line, can I touch a midfield last? Antonio, I'm not totally convinced, people. 1 goal in 10 for Jamaica. He not score from open play. Antonio scored and go from open play in a long time for Jamaica, you know. We don't realize that, you know. The goal against Ecuador was after him scored when he bounced twice. It was after a corner. The goal he scored in Honduras was a penalty. When last Antonio scored a goal from open play, people? I'm curious. When last he scored a goal for Jamaica from open play? I can't recall. He scored 5 goals for Jamaica. One's a penalty. 2 were screamers. But when last he scored from open play? When last he scored from West Ham from open play? That's a bigger question. He not score. So he don't want Shamar play. Me indifferent to you play. Seriously. On the left, Gray, I think Siva should challenge Gray for that position. I know some of you may think I'm out of my mind, but Gray's not beating his man. Gray's not working hard on defense. Gray's not getting by his player. Gray's not scoring. He ain't scored forever. Has Gray scored in the last 8 games? Can't recall. Huh? Can't recall. Yeah, Claudine, because I have no special pet in the Claudine. I'm not petting nobody. Not petting nobody. Your production is what I value. You not produce? Hey, you're replaceable. So here we go again. When has Antonio created something for himself, people? When has Antonio created something for himself? Missy Fowler created for himself. When create something for himself? When I'm not against Antonio, people. But like sometimes beat local developed players, and beat players that come from overseas. Me, none of them thing there. Me I call you out if you not score. So yes, the midfield hasn't supplied the ball well, but you know what? Sometimes you got to do it on your own. Yeah, he scored 1 goal every 4 games. Like I said before, when I was last, he's come from open play. Open play is where I focus on the people. Set piece, a bonus. I focus on open play. Tell me when last he scored from open play. I bet you guys can tell me last he scored from open play. That's what I focus on. Somebody said me beat too much. Wait there. Kranky, you beat too hard. But who me I beat hard? Me not understand people. I'm calling out the positions and I'm making comments. You guys tell me when I'm wrong. So, okay, here's this. Tell me when I'm wrong. So let's go back over what I just talked about. I love my defense. Me not beat no defense. Except the right back, me say me be open, right? Me not talk about my goalkeeper. Because my goalkeeper, I will save you. The goalkeeper is our best player by a country mile. Let me repeat that. So me say Pinnock, I think our goalkeeper is our best player by a country mile. Pinnock is up there too. He's playing well. Played well today for Brentford. He's playing well, even though Pinnock kind of slow. Pinnock play well all the time. Most times anyway. Not all the time. Because in Venezuela, I never play good, but they play good most of the time. Lowe has been playing great of late. Maybe can't keep in the tournament. Go look on the stats. So my defense, I'm a goalkeeper. My back 5, I'm a back 3, and I'm a back 4.5. All right. You see me move from this, me start struggle. Let me say that again, people. When I move from my back 5, I'm a back 7. Okay, if you grab Greg Lee Knight, right? Number Kisa is other form it looks like. I'm not playing no football. Me start struggle. Lati stats are good, but he's not doing enough in the midfield for me. Palmer stats are decent, but he's an okay player. Bobby Reed, I like. Even though Bobby Reed work ethic and the overall play is decent. So yes, put Bobby Reed with the group and same system in the midfield. Bobby Reed is a workhorse. Him do things what people don't see. Him can take the ball on the half turn. Him can do certain things. Not the most technical player, but I'll have him in my team all the time because you need them workhorse there. Right? So we have 2 midfield positions open. You can put Lati right back. Lati was brilliant against the US when they play US in a Nations League. Put him a right back, put him a left back, him can function on there. Look really good. We need 2 midfielders. You bring in Hayden, still need another midfielder. Bring in Ravel, make me feel set to play against the US. Me go up front. You have Bailey who no scored no goal this season. You have Antonio who scored. So between, me know about Greg, I'm looking at Ariel. Between, and half of Jamaica. Between Antonio and Bailey. So no, Antonio scored for us, but from open play. A 1 goal, the 2 of them scored from open play in the season, people. In over 20 games, 1 goal from open play, with about 2 Premier League players. Between Jamaica and them club team, 1 goal from open player. If I go to Gray playing for in Saudi, you know what Saudi League, so I don't know why I'm over there. But the last 8 or so game from Jamaica, he hasn't scored. No, everybody gonna blame the midfield. But sometimes forwards gotta create something out of nothing. So what do they create out of nothing? They're not creating nothing. And sometimes forwards link up amongst themselves. Where are they linking up? That's the problem, people. And if you have 61% possession in that game, you should be creating something. Forward them now, destroy them now, bamboozle and dismiss them defenders. They not do that. I saw Cephas come in that game at the stadium, right? And I was successful on like 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 4 dribble. Just pick up the ball and run past the man. Now, when Cephas get in a certain position, so Cephas now make the right decision sometime. But at least he can be dangerous and even get free kick out of some of them. We don't see that from Grape on the left. We're not pouring on and patting nobody in people. We are looking for win game. So if you don't want me to come here and just say all these players are so great and they're wonderful and they have good pedigree, I wrong place there. Me I call them and say, it's not about beating. It's about stating facts or having an opinion which you can challenge, but come good with your perspective because me I call it and say, I just showed you the stats. We scored 10 goals in a 10 game. We now score at home. We now score against Cuba. We score 1 goal against Dominican Republic. We now score goals, people. What are we talking about? Dominican Republic just start play football. They're a baseball team, even though they go World Cup for UNA team. Right? Dominica, who not play football, who play cricket. We score them almost beat we. 3-2, we beat them or something like that. That's not good. That's not good. These are facts, people. If you want to beat the US, who we have beaten 3 times out of 33, if you want to do the math, you have about a less than 10% chance to beat them. Right? 3 of 33 people. 3 of 33. That can't good, people. And you want to beat them, and you say, boy, we have to beat them. Then if you want to beat them, you have to be the best players to beat them. Claudine says, I see Cephas looking like a chicken without a head. Yeah, but Claudine, I see him also running by his defender. What did Gray do the entire game, Claudine? Tell me what Gray did for the entire game. What did Gray do? Except Sol couldn't get the ball. I like Gray as a player. I praised him when he came to this region. I praised him when he made CONCACAF team at the tournament at the Gold Cup. But him play dry up, him go Saudi Arabia, and me no know what happened. He's not the same player. Can we compare it with another top? What do you mean, Triple E? Elaborate. I don't totally get that. I don't get that, actually. I thought you beat them when they had 10 players before the game. Didn't they have 10 players when you beat them? Did you beat them with 11 players? So before the game, if you beat them with 11 players, I'll go to Angus Heave and ask him for his guidance about how we can beat the US. But I thought you beat them when they had 10 players. I don't think they had 11 players when you beat them, you know? If I remember correctly. I think, didn't, what's his name that played right back? Sergina Dest, didn't he get a red card in that game when you beat them? What Claudine is saying? Control a ball. You mean Cephas? Look, I'm not saying Cephas is the best player now. But Cephas is the only one can get chances sometimes. When Cephas played the US, he just score against Turner. But he's the only one got a chance in the game now. Because when Cephas start run, the defender a reverse. In that game against US, look at that tape. Cephas is going this way and the defender is going this way. Speed kills. You know, you saw speed and we're strong and we're fast. We're not doing nothing else. Yeah, well, if Greenwood come, Greenwood can play any way he want to play. That's all I have to say. If Greenwood come, he can play any way he want to play. But no, it's not that I'm trying to beat anybody, people. I'm calling like what I see it. Right? I'm calling what I see. We have to be able to score more goals. The defense can't play a good. Hey, we give up 10 goals, not 10 games. So we average giving up 1 goal a game, right? And even that number is skewed. So here's the thing: we give up 10 goals in a people. You think about this in 10 games, which means we give up 3 to Venezuela, we give up 3 to Ecuador. That's 6. So that means we gave up 4 goals in 8 games. Let me say that again: 4 goals in 8. That means my defense is giving up 0.5 goals in those teams because we're not going to play on Ecuador and we're not playing on Venezuela in South America. So against CONCACAF, we're giving up half a goal in each game. And yet we can't score one goal in a game. And we can't score, score nothing from open play in the last 7 games. Come on, people. Something has to change. Something has to change. We're not, the defense is playing well and keeping us in games. The offense is not doing its job. Now, one may say we're a defensive team, and there's some credence to that, given the Hargreaves builds the team, because you don't know about an offense. He's a kick and run footballer. But now we're playing more open and we're still not creating chances. So KK says, right now, Cephas are play better than Gray. Trust me, I don't want to say. Look, I think Cephas has ability. He just needs to be coached, actually. No, but you can't win without scoring in a Sherman. I remember that. You can only draw. You can't win if you don't score. And by the way, it's not only about scoring, it's scoring from open play. And if you score a goal from open, it's like Arsenal. People tell me how Arsenal scored so much goal last year. 30% of the goals came from open play. That's why they struggle this year. Because people know what you're doing in open. 30% come from set pieces. People start clapping up in set pieces. Where you do? Open play is where it is. When I'm upset, I don't get upset. I don't get upset, Ardar. And Vince Carter is a Hall of Famer. Has a jersey retired by the Toronto Raptors. I wish I had such pedigree when it comes to sports. But I was a corner league player and a club footballer. I didn't have any of Vince Carter's athletic genes or capabilities. So we can only talk. Can't know that. So Jay's going to say, what should we change? The first thing is some players. First thing it should change. Look, I think you can see with certain teams play. You saw that today with Fulham. It's clear the manager has a style of play and a pattern of play, and you could see how we. Isn't that you know why when I go to games, people I sit at the halfway line, and I'm gonna get beaten for this because I got a game at St. Louis. I sit in the halfway line. I now go in the Jamaica section, but I have on Jamaica gear. Here's the reason why I like to see the entire field and see how the layouts are, see where people are positioned, see the movement, see how they get breakdown, see how people receive the ball. I don't like to be behind the goal, which is where 149 section is. By the way, people, 149 is a section for the game in St. Louis. If you go into the Jamaica section, they have about 200 tickets they're trying to sell and build a Jamaica vibes, right? I'm going, but I will admit, I'm not going to 149. I'm going in the middle. I bought my seats in the middle at the park so I can see the entire field. When Jamaica is playing, the movement is not there. When Jamaican is playing, some of the technical ability you need in midfield, when I watch a game in Dallas, it's not there. Receiving the ball, go watch Busquets. Some of the midfielders go watch Busquets play football. I'm at the perfect watch. Busquets now run going away, and him still people run past him. It's like him stand up, so you run around him, because him look at turns, him twists, him body shape, him body movement, him dips, get him out of trouble right away. That's why Ravel has some of them skill set. That's why we love Ravel. And we don't have that. So Jason Gunnar, the challenge is this. I like that the coach is trying to change things. He's trying to keep more of the ball. If you notice the last game Blake played, Blake had 32 of 33 passes reach his destination because he didn't play no long ball. And that was against a good Honduras team, even though they weren't pressing us. We won't have that same ability against the US. Blake would have to go long because he might press us. But we have to develop some kind of style of play, people. And then the way you move and the way you operate informs that whole process. So Jason Gunnar, we got to do a better job of getting the ball from the defense and the midfield up the field. Got to be better movement off the ball, but you need more technical players in some areas. You do. Else it ain't going to happen. Ron fan saying he's going to section 132, which then is what? That's not a bad section, but it's not exactly behind. So I was trying to get, where was I at? I was in the 1, but I'm in the 2s actually, because I like to be high up too. I don't like to be at the first level, because then I'm not, but I should have bought in the first level because I realized a very small field that hold less than 30,000 people. So I shouldn't have gone as high as I did, but I like to look down, I like to be where the cameras are. So there's a media section normally where you can, they have to show the games, especially in the middle of the park. I think I went just above that actually. But the middle, when you go in the middle, it's a little more, it's more expensive, much more expensive actually than going to the side. With 149. But 149, at least when the ball is down in the final third, you get a better view than if you're in the middle of the park watching the game. So run down, maybe I see at the game actually. And I'm glad to see people are buying tickets to go to the game. Those of you who live close enough can go, you should do so. If you have flexibility in your schedule, and if you have time, you should go to the game. It's nothing like bullying around a bunch of Jamaican in a foreign location. Let me tell you this, people. I'll go for a tangent. When I first got in the military, I went overseas, and when you first go in the military, you're kind of in no man's land. And when I went to the military, people, here's what's strange. I had only lived Jamaica 3 months. I went to the military 3 months after getting to the US. 3 months. I signed up like 2 months after coming here. Not because I wanted to, but there was no money in the house. And I went to the military. So I went overseas. So I was still raw, still talk patois raw, still not talk no good. No good English. I'm not talking no English. So I'm in the military. And my first 3 months was like, nobody talked to me because I didn't smoke and I didn't drink, and they thought I was like internal affairs, right? So it was a very difficult time for me in my first 4 months in the military. But I met some yard people. I mean, I tell you, I was like 18 then. And the yard people, them, best ever. I'm saying Jamaicans can sometimes be difficult amongst them, one or the other, but we go to the environment there. People can get me yard and teach me how to drive, them feed me, we play a ball together. Some of them are not good about football, they're not good enough, but then other men on the team. I'm sure Jamaican them play. I think the team probably had about 7 or 8 Jamaicans who started on the team, even though some of them not even really that great actually. But it was the best vibes, best situation, best people going to be around with like a family, making the point that, you know what? Sometimes we can be difficult as people, but in certain environment, the vibes is all good. right? And then bring me in, so it may feel like a stranger when we go back to the barracks. When I was with them, and some of them live off post, best thing ever, right? Gaming saying, going with that ball, like Kranky, can't wait to see me in the team. Yeah, you have to wait though. Yes, R&R, a long time. You have to remind me R&R. I mean, it was a long time that. But it was great. Them things in the last forever, I know. You know, I forget their memory there. Best time ever. And even some of my friends in the military, we're still friends today. One of them called me the other day saying, hear me, we talked to him about saying, hear me, I called him to Maverick program or something. You know, here comes the meeting. Here comes the meeting. Probably deserved it. Here comes the meeting before cell phone. People, cell phone is coming in the 90s. You know, I'm not going to say cell phone. What? Cell phone, the real deal? Because them 79 cell phone, them big things, contraptions to carry. Ain't cell phone. No, can't give me a hard time. We're not going to the age thing. We're not going to the age thing. We're going to the long time thing. The point I'm making is this: when you meet people who are part of your culture, similar to you, familiar with you, you'd be surprised how it helps you acclimate to a certain environment. So, frankly, when I went to the military, the Jamaicans that were there, and even when I came back to the States, I was in the military. Barkley and Gigo and McFarlane, best time ever. I would come out of New York on party on weekend and go back to Fort Dix, New Jersey. But anyway, I'm reminiscing. We're almost out of time. We have 4 minutes left. If you're not calling, you can do so, because I'm going to close it down at 8 o'clock. I'm going to say this. I didn't bring up the stats just to create problem. The point I'm trying to make is this. If the scoring don't improve, we now beat the US. I didn't retire from the military. I did 4 years on run out. Me if you stay in the military 20 years, you're mad. Me can't take orders on the people. I can't imagine how me stay. Me couldn't take the orders them. The training was good. I got fit in the military. But as me 4 years, me count down. You know, when you go in the military, you go in a certain environment, you start counting down. It was like, okay, I spent 4 years. It was 4 years. Then it was 3 years and 364 days. Because it was rough when I first got in. But it worked out better. But no, I stayed 4 years and got out. How much out of 10 we can see 20 to work out? What does that mean? Q Boss Davis, how much of 10 can we see? Not sure I get that. I'm not sure I get that. I'm not sure I get that, Q Boss. People, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. We're almost out of time, and I appreciate it being here. But I'm going to say this. The scoring needs to improve. And here's another thing to people. So here's my rationale for bringing some of these things. Those of you who are going to the press conferences, there's some of the questions you need to ask, you know. Give them the stats and say, what we'll do to improve the scoring. That's like a question right there. So if you're watching and you're part of the group that goes to this, that's a question. Okay, coach, we're playing the last 10 games. We've scored 10 goals. In the last 8 games, we haven't scored a goal from open play. How are we going to change that, coach? We're playing against a better team in the US than his team. How will that change? That's a question. The question not if you beat him. The question can be about what strategy you're going to employ to change the dynamics of our situation at work. Can you not work right now? We not score from open play. And the question could be, what's the reason? Is it the forwards? Is it the defense? Is it the midfield? Is it everything? That's the press conference. I think there's a squad announcement on Thursday, I think it is. I don't remember when the press conference is. I should know that, you know. But I know there's a squad announcement the end of this week. And now when the coach comes in, we have a press conference, right? So the press conference probably is, I'm getting a call in. Good evening. Good night. Not much. Who am I speaking to?
Fatal, you know? Yeah.
Fatal, DJ Fatal. Good night. How are you doing? What do you want to say?
Yeah, I threw in a couple things today, but just a play, I would say devil's advocate and also
trying to playing devil's advocate. So you don't believe what you're saying?
I should say, or should I say, no. Some of it I do believe. Okay. But I would say, may I try to bring some balance to you.
Oh, you say I'm not balanced. All right, go on. Say, man, no balance.
No, some balance. I'm trying to bring some balance. To be fair, you said 10 games. I think it's unfair because the coach already on go play what 4 or a little bit 5. So we can't really just say, listen, what you going to do for fix 10 games when you're not even involved in 10? You understand? You've been in 5 games.
No, no,
Yes,
no,
we
no, no,
scored
no.
at them.
That's not the point, DJ. My point to him is this: we have struggled to score from open play. Has he realized that? And what are he going to be doing? Is he have something he's planning to do? You don't have to tell us exactly what he's doing now. Is there a way to change that? Because we're struggling and we're playing a better team. How could we get to a point where we're trying to create chances and score from open play because it's not happening right now?
Well, that minister tried to mention it. So, for example, the coach brought in Campbell, which looked decent on the attacking wing. He did help in that Nicaragua and also Honduras game where he helped to even create a possible chance that was scored. It wasn't him, but it was our own goal. But also, Romario Williams looked good in the 9, but basically hold up the ball well, help to basically, involve the attack as well and create some possible chances when we were playing against Honduras. So I'm saying, I think this coach is trying to tweak a little bit to find a way to create that, like I said, more open play for the front four. However, I do agree though, we need to be creating more chances. I would need to be kind of showing some more progress up front because we're not doing so. I mean, give or take, it's probably hard for the coach to just tweak everything in one go, but it's been a couple games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
but what I would say,
yeah,
apart from in World Cup qualification when we lost against Mexico and Panama, those were the only 2 games Jamaica has lost at home in a while. We don't really lose at home. I think we can basically nick that win at home with US. We know.
Did we lose to Canada at home? I thought Canada beat us 2-1 at home.
Oh yes, you're right. Also, Canada, those 3 teams. But I would say normally US struggle at away. That's one thing with them. They don't play so good also on our style most times. They can be exploited. Just the same like us, they have a new coach, and the coach kind of trying to implement his system. So
right.
we know that basically what I'm saying is like they still have an advantage, but it's not a far off. You understand? Hence why also the last couple of games they played 3, 1-1, lost 2. It's here or there. We can basically create if we take our chances, like you said. This is where where you're balancing meaning where you come into play mention. If we take our chances at home, we can possibly try to get a draw. I would say away. You understand? I don't think we'll beat them in the US. We can, but I think our better chance is really getting that win at home. We really need. I would definitely agree with you that if the coach smart now, for example, he saw the likes of Cephas, and he did mention. Remember when Cephas didn't come to the previous window? He mentioned Cephas is going through some things at his club at the time, and he likes to play and whatever. No.
Wait. First of all, DJ. First of all.
Yeah.
Did he see Cephas play? You have to mind people. Some people tell us them like some player when they don't know the player them are. I'm always cautious about that because he hasn't shown me that he knows these players. So if he say he likes Cephas, I wonder if he's merited about Cephas.
Which player the coach him like? Put it like that.
But that's the point. I've said that too. Him like every player. Him like Reed. I know call back Reed, and Reed does not call back. Him saying he Reed played the game before, and him saying like Reed, and him play the game, and him play well against the Trinidad team, and he not call him back.
Maybe he's a coach when he want to always be on a positive foot in terms of like, beat down the players. He want them to have that motivation. Plus, you want them to get, it's kind of like that psychology, meaning like you tell them, say, yo, you're good or you're doing good. So that basically you hope that they work on that. You understand? And maybe that's one of the mind game plays in terms of how in trying to bring out the best in his players, and that's what I would say. Like you said, in my eyes, I will hopefully, for example, the likes of Cephas, because we know US like to basically, they're most likely going to dominate us in the midfield, and they play fast, they're quick, they're going to try to bring up their line. The likes of Cephas, not saying Damar Gray isn't, but I would say if I pick my wings in Jamaica, I would probably put on a Cephas. If I'm the coach, for example, or if the coach listening, hey, tell Cephas, you watch somebody, if you watch somebody clips when he play for us, just point out, show him on the tapes, listen, this is where in that final third, I want you to make a better decision. Even when he came on, you know what I mean? Your squares, try to find that if it's you or you have that open player, take the shot. Or if you can see, your 9 or anybody else running in, get that ball.
Cephas coming like Martinelli. He might look for something on the ground, like him lose money.
Yeah. Well, but that's the problem. You understand? Because we know enough of those players, you see me? You can mention so much of those type of players, trust that all of them people, but I'm just saying, like, you have these players where we play decently, them give some good run, like I say. But that is a problem too, Kranky. Sometimes people see these look at good runs and there's no end product. You understand?
Yeah,
That
true.
is not good in football necessarily, because that's why, for example, me and you can cuss. You have this great team, Arsenal. Me have a team where you say, why coach always start these players? And when that player get that moment, and you know what I mean, just when the coach need it, or if he see him job, in come true. So sometimes it's a big thing, you know what I mean. So just to kind of, like I say, add some balance to the team. But I think
appreciate the call. I think I'm very balanced, unlike some people in the chat think I'm not balanced, but I think I'm balanced.
No, I'm like me say still, to be fair to you, still, when I say unbalanced. That's why I said I play devil's advocate, meaning I try to defend the coach, because in terms of saying, what if he's saying this from this perspective, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not necessarily say you. That's what I'm saying. I try to bring some balance in terms of saying, what if he's saying or looking at it this way. And to be frank, you mentioned something too, and I think it's important to kind of stand out in the dynamics of. I don't think most coaches are gonna say, listen, because I'm picking up a Jamaican job, that means I'm before go overseas go recruit players. In this case, it's kind of unique case. The coach probably might say he want certain qualities and then probably can't find it on the island, so you need to go overseas, which is what we're kind of most likely saying. Yeah, we have the diaspora to help utilize. But there comes a point also, like you said, it's kind of become a gray area where between the players that want to show the interest, there need to be a link, and also we need people that basically can make those contacts to say, listen, what do you think? If a coach, if we, as Jamaica, if we ever come calling, would you be interested? If the player say, yeah, you don't know, all right, let me know. You know what I mean? I'm saying this is something now where we can now say to coach, listen, coach, these are some of the players that we have that basically we've made contact. They've said they are interested. It's just basically, if you want them in your system, here are the list. You understand what I'm saying? No, basically, it's much more.
Him saying get list of over 50 players, right? Him have the list. Is he and there's longer list than 50. There's a much longer list than 50. People, I know 50 players in Jamaica have enough more than 50 of Jamaican heritage, as they call it. So the question is, how many is he contacted? I have been told by good sources, saying not talk to players. We don't know. No. Him saying talk to players. Me say him not talk to players. I don't know. Be the same talk to him, so you never know. Be the same talk to the player more than one time. So,
but think about it. You listen to the interview with Bailey, right? And you hear Bailey say him and the coach talk every day.
But I'll say this: him saying go look for Bailey, because Bailey live close to him. He not reach Bailey yet.
Yeah.
Because Bailey say no meet the man in person yet. He not gonna beat Bailey yet. That's not excusable. But that's not excusable. That's not excusable.
No,
him say when he go to England, the first time he come, he go to England and go look for Bailey. Go Bailey, go talk to him, go sit down with him. Phone is impersonal. Let me just say this, people. Phone is impersonal.
Kranky, hold on it up. Let me bring it to reality. Me and you live in the US. A lot of people in the chat probably in the diaspora also. You know how many people live in the same country you live in, and you could be your closest kin. And you know how long you not see them? And you could have really and truly go even but you would talk to them every now and then.
What you just say? How long you not see them? That means you see them before. You never see the man in person yet. Never meet in person yet. That's a different story. You're the coach. Wait. Let me say this. Coach, what you do with your time? Because you're not that Jamaica. You're that England. What are you doing with your time? Are you home on the computer doing work? What work are you doing? I'm not buying that. I'm buy that DJ theater. I'm not buy that. Sorry, I'm not buy that.
Listen, I agree with you.
I'm not buy that. Go visit the man. Go sit down and talk to him. Go watch him game. Go talk to the coach. Go talk to Emery.
Kranky, here's another thing I wanted to mention. You know, you keep on mentioning about the coach, like, coach, where are you?
Where are you? No. So where are you? Where are you?
Okay, where are you?
Where are you? Yes.
Think about it though. These probably the arrangement where speed and them make with them. Like, listen, you're not for there all the time, you know. It's when on a game time, just make sure you're rolling and just come.
So is he getting paid part-time?
Well, we don't know. That's why JFF holding up everything under lock and key. Them not tell us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, because we don't know. We are make an assumption and beat it in a way. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, the vloggers, them make mention of it like that way. Like they know the narrative. And I'm just saying, I think we have to be careful, because listen, we can't blame the man. When we remember when a particular person say, "Yo, the coach has to live on the island."
Yes, Peter. You mad? So the coach has to live on the island. It's not it's mandatory. It's not debatable. It's not discussed.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
And guess what? Now the coach will live on the island, which we all already know. And now the coach, even if they're on the island and not the world. So I'm saying there could be so much change and dynamics to how these people have now change everything and don't tell us. Yeah, I mean, meaning they switch them out, and now all of a sudden we are questioning and say, where is it? We thought this is transparent, but it's not. It's really and truly the DFF not being transparent. And basically, we know a blame and a beat the coach in a way where the coach probably even realize, yo, I know this is not what I signed up for. Them tell me, say, yo, I can't go, mommy, when we're ready for come back, I come back. So we don't know. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. They probably the assignment, which I'm assuming and would like to know that he's doing, is watching more teams with the players them, and the players them when I try to fit in his system and make sure they get that under the wraps. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but that's why I'm saying that I try to bring some balance, because, like you say, I mean, we see him bringing Holgate, and we're saying we're bringing somebody when for the midfield, but we don't know. Let's see. Hopefully, it can work for this window, because I really and truly need a little piece more in the midfield, and I think because of US, we don't have no time now to go play around. It have to go be probably close to perfect, even if it's just for that one moment. Or even if we have to bring back low in the midfield, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Understood. I appreciate the call.
Would you bring back low? Would you bring back low in the midfield?
No.
For that game?
It's not even a discussion. No.
For that game?
No.
So let me ask you.
My play beside Pinnock, he's not going on midfield. He's not midfielder.
Let me just say this. You remember when he played against the US in that quarterfinal?
I remember. They played midfield, and he played in. I don't remember him playing midfield twice. He played over in the Middle East, and he played against Canada. When did he play midfield again?
No, he played when I would play the US.
I can't recall that.
Yeah, man. When I would.
First of all, the last time he played midfield, he never looked good. After the Canada game, he played midfield, he never looked good.
No, I agree. In fact, but I'm just saying
the game was being played around him.
The reason why I'm saying, for example, sometimes we have to look at it. We're not going to outpossess the US if we're going to be real.
No, I agree with that.
The US are going to run rampant in the midfield. We definitely need somebody for break up play. I think that's why
we're getting Hayden. That's what Hayden's there for. That's what Hayden is there for. That's why Hayden is there. Otherwise, we bring him in.
Yeah, that is true.
He's a CDM. He's played CDM not all his life, most of his life. He was a center back, and he transitioned to CDM. So he was center back at Arsenal. Then he went to Newcastle and became a CDM, and he played there well for Newcastle for years until he tore up his knee.
Kranky. Yeah, that was the way I sent Low in the midfield for.
No, we are sending Low go sit down beside Pinnock to go destroy work on our back. Then police come through and give police a lick. Police could think twice about coming back.
No, that's true, man. But that's not a joke around that still. But no, we are keeping it real. Big up yourself.
Man. Thanks for the call. Thanks, DJ Fatal. All right, people. I'll close on the stream. That was DJ Fatal with some very, very good points. Let me say this. I appreciate you being here. It's been a good discussion. I'm getting the general view that people think I'm not objective and I'm biased. Oh Lord. This is the last call, people. And it's 5 minutes. We're not taking more than 5 minutes. Because I'm hungry when I eat dinner yet. Go on, Andre. 5 minutes.
I just want 2.5 then.
Okay. Take one.
I am so disappointed.
In what? In Dwight, you are getting the job?
Is
that what you're disappointed about? I think York can be good for Trinidad.
Yeah. The caller just said that the US would run rampant in the midfield, and he agreed.
I agree to go rampant. I said I said that's what Hayden is there for. That's what I said.
So
they have run rampant in every game we have played them in midfield. So why going to change now?
Yeah,
unless we have Ravel and Hayden, it ain't going to happen. Unless we have Ravel and Hayden, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, but this is a different era. You have
By the way, one
access-
second. Warren, me vote long time Warren. You know, me vote for two. Keep going. Me vote long time. Now we probably last minute, but why am I vote for Court Warren? In fact, me get me call for mailing vote. I'm saying, you know what? Me now wait for the mailing vote. Me go to the place go vote. Go ahead. Before go ahead. You vote long time.
Tomorrow is the day.
Tomorrow is D-Day. It's not D-Day for US, a lot of people. D-Day for the world. No stay there. No stay there.
Yeah.
Madman go come run the country. No stand there. No think nothing going bad yet. Madman start league with Putin. Be a trouble winner. Go ahead.
The current president say you can try what you tried the last time if you don't win.
Say it again.
He says, check your phone.
Which current president?
The US current president.
He said what? We should try what
He said to him, you could try what you tried the last time. You could try to behave.
Oh, you mean who said that? Who said that? Biden?
Yeah.
Saying he'll box him if he do it next time. He'll box him. If he try this next time, we'll lock him up. Him should get locked up the first time, you know. People don't realize him. If he get locked up the first time, you know. If you do this in any country in the world, people with the program over. Do this any country in the world, you're gonna jail. In fact, you're not on daylight. You got jail for a long time. So anyway, keep going before the game. I apologize.
Yes, the outcome, the vibe is not like there's not much confidence in the conversation.
No, because Andre. So I have a question for you, Andre. If you played 33 times against an opponent and you won 10% of that time, right? In fact, less than 10%. Okay, no, 10% of the time you won. Would you be very confident? No, less than 10%. Would you be very confident?
Is it illogical to believe you can improve that number the next time?
Not if your team don't change.
Well, the team is different. You have access to more players now.
No, the team is no different. The team is no different. The last time we played them, we beat them 3-1, but we were playing low block football. Now we're playing expansive football. We're playing right into their hands. If we don't play low block against them, we ain't got no chance. Not low block, but at least mid block, we ain't got no chance. Seriously. They have better players. Musa, Pulisic, Adams, Reina, Weah, but they got better players. Let's be honest.
Yes,
Most of our players, they have better players. They have better players.
They do have
better players.
And the likelihood of the US winning the game is very very likely. It's very likely. No, it's
you
not.
came on and convince yourself that is very likely.
No, but the truth is, whoever the opponent is, Jamaica is the opponent in this case, have to come up with a strategy to try to get a result in the game. Because you were very close the last time, you know.
No, we were close playing. No. We got battered in a sense, but we were good defensively.
No. In extra time.
No. Even regular. What was it like? 80-some% possession they had. It's like, you know what? It's like Brentford, Fulham today. It's like Arsenal, Man City. You could be there defending. You can't play football just defending people. I'm not saying we should go play expansive football against the US. I'm not saying that. It got to be mid-block. It shouldn't be low-block, but it can't be all attacking if you're going to get slaughtered. Let's play mid-block football. Let's compose ourselves defensively. Let's uphold Hayden's another shell of himself. And let's try to get the ball out to our wingers who are out of form and see if they can do something with it. Or send a forward who don't score a goal and see if we can do something with it. The facts.
Look, at the end of the day, Jamaica's best games have been away from home.
Yes. No, look. And the US don't travel well, right? The US don't travel well. The US doesn't travel well, especially upon that Midfield Stadium. And we play good against them. So those are facts.
And I remind you, November 20th, 2023, they came to the Caribbean and was beaten. So from a program that is in disarray, you know.
How do I know Trinidad will be part of the conversation at some point? So here's my question. Here's a question for you. Did Trinidad play the US when they had 11 men, or did Sergio Nades get a stupid red card and that's why you were to that? Did Trinidad beat them with 11 men or 10 men?
If it's one thing in football, I always say, you got to play what's in front of you. It's
Lord.
Not your fault. It's not your fault.
Okay. So let's just say this. So Trinidad beat the US. What have they done since? They beat the mighty US. What have they done since? We want to hear this. What have they done since? They beat the US.
well, Trinidad didn't get relegated from Nations League, which is a good thing in this. When you're upside it down, right?
Yeah.
You just hold on to it.
Hey, Trinidad upside down and I'm sideways. I think Trinidad sideways. Hey, Trinidad lean for a long time, you know. From Jack Warner getting in trouble. Appear lean Trinidad. The day Jack Warner get in trouble, and the day Trinidad start lean, and not stop lean yet. And come like the leading tower of peace or whatever they call it. Peace.
Bounce back. What do you think about your new hire?
I like Duarte York as a player. I don't know his coaching pedigree and capability. I know he coached in Australia, but he hasn't. Look, I'll say this. I don't think two things. I don't think enough black players transition to coaching and get their badge while they're playing. I hear Pinnock say he's going to think about getting his badge. But Pinnock, you're about 30-something years old. Get your badge now. Look at Xhaka. Xhaka almost done with his badges, you know. And Xhaka still played at a high level. Pinnock, get your badges now if you're going to go into coaching. And then also, if you don't have enough in the volume of people, you won't get positions. So they can always make excuse that you're not going to get coaching positions because they're going to say it's not enough of you. And we're out there not putting in the work or to get the jobs. But they'll give Lampard jobs. They give Gerrard jobs. They give all these people. They give Scott Parker jobs. Who then go fail? Lampard failed after fail. Gerrard is now failing in Saudi Arabia. He did good at Rangers, but he failed at Villa. He's failing in Saudi Arabia. Him get job. But you have to convince. Look, it's just like corporate world. You have to kill them with excellence. But you got to create your situation. You can't be whining. You got to create your situation. If you kill them with excellence and create a situation, and you have people go out there and they start. It's like black quarterbacks. You start producing, and people love winners. They'll hire you. That's how I see it works.
Well, you got to get an opportunity to produce. But
I'm just saying, you got to go. You got to put the work in. Because here's the thing, people. How do you think they hire assistant coaches? Because people see them in training and they conduct training. Players love them. Their strategy work. The manager love them. And at some point, they get a chance.
Yeah, I mean, guys like Patrick Vieira and them actually put in.
Yeah, Patrick Vieira put in the work. Put in the work. Put in the work. Put in the work. Put in the work.
So they make themselves.
And don't just take the first job that come when you know see your field and you have no chance of success. Don't do that. Do your research before you take the job.
Well, sometimes that's what's available to those guys, right?
As I said before, don't take the job where you're gonna fail because you're ruining your reputation and those who look like you. That's all I gotta say. don't do that.
But anyhow, I would ask you to be more positive this week.
No. Look. I support my team. I want my team to win. Look, if I'm going to the game, after we play at Jamaica, so that means I support my team, right? I'm driving 21 hours to go to the game, and I support my team. I'm gonna be there supporting the team. I'll be in the Jamaica section. I'm talk lower, but I'll be there supporting my team, and I'll be making noise.
Hold on a minute now. Hold on a minute. And you know you're my guy. You know he's my guy, but I cannot allow you to miss the last dozen games.
No. Let me say this. First of all, I don't like to fly. We know this, right? So if I can get to the game, I was in Dallas. I didn't go to Nicaragua. I didn't go to Jamaica. But if I love to fly, I would probably go to all those games. I would not go to Nicaragua. Me not go to Nicaragua. Me know Errol them go. Some of my friends them go. Me not go to Nicaragua. But I would have gone to Jamaica and go to the games. But no, I'm going to St. Louis. When they come back, I'm going to go to the games if they're here. Wherever they are in the U.S., I'm going to try to get there. If it's California, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Okay, you know what? To Andre, which is important before the game. The problem in the U.S. is U.S. don't have bullet trains, If you go Japan, you go China, have bullet train. Amtrak take forever. If you want to go from like New York to Atlanta, it takes like 18 hours. It's ridiculous. That in Tokyo takes like 4 hours. It's ridiculous.
You could drive and see the beautiful country.
I am going to be driving, see the beautiful country. I am going to be driving.
Be more positive this week. You have a big manager with a terrific.
We have a retiree.
Look, at the end of the day, he's coaching. He's up against a guy with about 15 years experience at clubs like Tottenham and
PSG,
yeah, Chelsea,
Southampton, big name clubs. Okay. He's up against a man who coached a lot of big name clubs. It's about what players like Pulisic playing for Milan, play for Chelsea, or Sergio Dest play for Barcelona now in Holland, or Robinson playing for Fulham, starting, by the way. A lot of them are starters. Or Adams, who's now where's Adams? At Nottingham Forest or whatever it is, who plays midfield against Musa is at Milan, against Reina. You want me to keep naming that? You want me to keep naming against Balogun, who's at Balogun, who's at playing for Monaco. You want me to keep going? You want me to keep going?
No. Claudine wants you to stop. She say you are scaring her. She have no shit to hide on that.
No, Claudine needs to be braver, Claudine. If I'm going to the game, that means I'm brave, okay? I'm not going to stay, either people. I'm not going to stay and doing watch along and get none in views because I'm not giving no likes anyway. So who cares? I'm going to go to the game and watch the game. Now people know watch along. Right? I'm going to go to the game.
You know, the questions that you have, you had the right person to give it to.
Who?
You had to make it happen. We'll talk after.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Anyway, thanks for calling before the game. I got to close this down. My Knicks are playing. Let me go watch and see if they're going to beat up somebody. Thanks before the game. I appreciate you. All right, people. Thanks before the game. Good call. DJ Fatal, good call. 433, good call. All good calls tonight. That means that the other calls on other days are not good. I appreciate you being here. It's been a good discussion. I am back tomorrow. I have no idea what the topic is. I got to go ponder and do my long 2-mile walk in the mornings and come up with topics. I've been doing people walk for about 2 miles. In New York, it's like 10 miles. Got pure nice years. But anyway. And then subsequent to that, I come up with my topics and I come here and put them down on paper. Wednesday, I'm hoping to have Dennis Chung on my channel talking about a bunch of different things. I'm hoping he can join me. He was good on Manning's Band program yesterday, which I'll call into. And I hope he can join me on Wednesday. If he comes on, it'd be good. You should join us. It'd be a good discussion. I have a lot of what I think are, I don't want to say they're good questions, because then it's sort of saying I'm asking them they're good. But they're questions that you're going to want to know the answers to. All right? They're questions you want to know the answers to. And then this is good in providing some perspective. So anyway, have a good evening. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And I will see you when I see you. Good night. Kranky life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Kranky life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Kranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Kranky life, get to know the name because Kranky analysis is never lame. Kranky life, give me my Kranky life. I want my Kranky life. Must have my Kranky life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Kranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Kranky life. Tell them Kranky life. Heed them Kranky life. Want them Kranky life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Kranky Live. Tune into Kranky Live. Like up Kranky Live. Subscribe to Kranky Live. Kranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Kranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Kranky will always bring the heat. Kranky Live. Me say fi tell them Kranky life. Me say fi heed them Kranky life. On them Kranky life. Kranky life will be around. Kranky life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Kranky, Kranky, Kranky life. Kranky, Kranky, Kranky life. Kranky. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed, want, heed, want, heed them.